This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area. This, this, this should be played. This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
Shalom, salama, siyemi, shalom, family abroad. Yeah, I see you, Shauna Shade. That's what's happening. She said, Shalom, my cousins. She's like, I'm on time tonight, y'all. That's what's happening. I see you, sis. Good luck. Good luck. Oh, man.
Shalom.
And Brother Harbio is kind of like, go ahead, bro, if you can. Yeah, he's on his way out of work this evening, so we'll have him caught up here in a little bit. Shalom to you always, Essential Growth. Good to see you, sis. Or family. Yeah, yeah, definitely know how YouTube is. Know how that goes. Can't wait to have Hario up on here in a little bit. And definitely been an odd day. Definitely been an odd day. But let me go ahead and set the share on up. Go ahead and get this going in just a moment. Yeah, before we do get started, I definitely want to go ahead and pray tonight. I'm thank you, Father, for poking me right quick. Oh yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. So while Brother Hario is finishing up, I know he can hear us a little bit. I want to go ahead and get started with the prayer before we get started reading this evening. So I'll go ahead and bow our heads if we can. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for the blessings you've given us and the blessings that you will give. And most importantly, thank you for the love that you gave us to save us. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this fellowship once again so we can enjoy your word, enjoy learning what we did not know, and get a chance to learn more about you and more of what you've done for us and pulled us through, not just up out of Egypt, but pulled us through so many different situations. So we're going to be able to apply your word to all situations. And we thank you, Father, for learning. We thank you for the fellowship. We thank you for the laughter, the sense of humor, everything that comes with, reading sometimes. So we very much appreciate it, Father. Without you, this couldn't be done. So in Yahushua holy name we pray. Amen. All right. So let's see here. Oh, okay. Take your time. Going making my tea. I got you. Okay. Okay. All right. So how's your day been going, sis? Like, what are you getting out of today?
You said, what am I getting out of today?
Yeah, what are you getting out of today?
Um, Today was I don't know about anybody else, but this time change thing has really been messing with me. Um, my day seems like it's longer than it should be. I feel like I have to get up earlier to go to work, because I'm used to, I don't set alarm clocks. My body tells me. After you set an alarm clock long enough, your body tells you what time it is. And so at this point in the year, it's like I don't need alarm clock. The sun, the birds, they wake me up and it's peaceful. And right now it's just like I wake up like, oh, I'm late for work. or oh, I need to hurry up and get up. And it's not a peaceful transition for me right now. Um, and I feel tired. Um, and but otherwise, I mean, we're getting through those days. I'm being more confident about talking to people about being Israel. And I'm, and fortunately for me, I don't get a lot of backlash or anything from people. A lot of times they're just really receptive to the conversations that we have. Kind of warning people about, are you saving up? Are you, stocking up? What kind of things you teaching the kids, just different stuff like that. Just you know, putting some seeds out there and hopefully some stuff will take hold. Um, the RV is in the shop, y'all. Look, it's in the shop and hopefully they'll fix whatever is broken with that and I'll be able to do my first little road trip. Um, yeah, so that's me going on right now.
That's still a blessing though. You actually got the RV in the shop, getting that taken
Yeah,
care of. That's good. That's
yeah.
good. All right. Still waiting on bro to get kind of clear. He's still out there sewing up a little bit of what he's doing at work. Very much appreciate the brother for coming on out though. Definitely, definitely. So we got 7 folks in the chat at the moment. I do want to kind of get started, but before we do, a little bit of a recap. So when we left off, we just got done seeing the whole Exodus play straight on out. The out in the wilderness, the in the place of Sukkot, we see how Pharaoh had changed his mind and all that. We also saw not only that, but we saw where Uncle Moshe got the staff. We saw where he got the staff from Adam, and when he got that from Reuel, who had got that from the time of when Joseph had passed away, and so he had took it and planted it in his garden, and people couldn't come along and pluck it. We got a chance to see a lot last time around, and we got to see that the different divisions of people, um, of outside of in the tribes that had started to come up with different ideas once Pharaoh started to come for him a little bit. So, on one sec, I think bro is clicked out and clicked back in. No, that's this. Got you there. All right, we got to see so much last time around. So, goodness, I'm trying to think of a good place to start going back through some of these things because oh my goodness. Um, I end up scrolling back too many chapters there. Oh yeah, yeah, that's so many chapters away. 67. We're up here at 82. Yeah, this day right here, we got to see where Uncle Moshe has started getting his orders from the Most High. Right around here, when he strayed from the goats, and you got a chance to speak
How
with the
many
Most
books are
High.
in Jasher?
There's 100 and I think 102, something like that.
Okay.
So we coming up close on the end
You
of
know what? The
Jasher.
favorite part that we read on Shabbat was when she came into the Israelites camp, so to speak, and
Oh
she
yeah,
was like,
go ahead, go ahead.
like, Everybody else's kids is dying. They firstborns are dying. Why are y'all up here singing and dancing? Like you said, playing dominoes and playing cards. Why are
Yeah.
y'all having a good time?
Oh yeah. Oh goodness. I'm trying to get right to it now. Now that you got into speaking to it. Um, let's see here. Dang, I just went right past it. Pervaded Egypt and horses. No, that's not it right there. I'm trying to get to that part because it was talking about right here, and all the reptiles, winged animals, according to their kind, grieved the Egyptians exceedingly. And let's see here. We saw where Leviathan got released, and she went upon the roofs
Mhm.
and uncovered the raftering and the flooring and cut them and stretched forth her arm into the houses and removed the locks and bolts and opened the doors. So that way all the swarms and the animals could come on in and finish
You know
tormenting the
what?
people. We got to see
I was
that.
thinking during that time was, I mean, biblically, did we hear about a flood going on during the same time or heavy rain or anything like that?
Mm,
Because I was just wondering how did, I mean, I'm surely, I guess the creature could have just crawled up in there, but with all the like floodwaters that's going on here recently and so on and so forth, I just wondered if that thing got to open up the rooftops and the doors because all this water was coming through. And it just made the ease of it getting around in the cities a lot better.
mm.
It was just a strange thought.
Right, right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember any flooding during these plagues to allow the Leviathan to come up to do what she was doing. But this is that part right here. Um, let's see here. And Bethia, the daughter of Pharaoh, went forth
Hey,
with the
bro.
king on that night. There's bro. How you doing there? How you doing there? Ak?
Hey, shalom.
Shalom, shalom. Can y'all hear me better?
Yeah, definitely hear
Yes.
you better
Sadly
now.
better. Yeah, I'm in the
Yep.
car now, so yeah, I'm sorry about that, y'all, man. The plantation kept me a little bit longer than what it was supposed to keep me. So yeah, so but I'm in the car now, so and hopefully I can get out the country, and when I get back in the Baton Rouge, I have better service because it's probably still a little choppy. I'm gonna be passing through some places that's choppy too.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, be safe.
All praise to the Most High that you're able to hear, and we pray that you can hear everything because we come trying to catch up a little bit before we go ahead and jump on in and get started.
Right.
But then right here is that part where what you were talking about, sis. And Bethia, the daughter of Pharaoh, went forth with the king on that night to seek Moshe and Aharon in their houses, and they found them in their houses, eating and drinking and rejoicing with all Yasharal. While on that same night, all the firstborn had passed away, and so they over here in Goshen kicking it pretty much right here, eating, drinking, rejoicing, playing dominoes and spades and everything else, just cooling, while the rest of the Egyptians is getting dealt with. And then Bethia said to Moshe, is this a reward for the good in which I have done to thee, who have reared thee and stretched thee out? And thou hast brought this evil upon me and my father's house. And Moshe had said to her, surely 10 plagues did Yahuwah bring upon Egypt. Did any evil accrue to thee from any of them? Did one of them affect thee? And she said, no. And Moshe said to her, although thou art the firstborn of thy mother, thou shalt not die, and no evil shall reach thee in the midst of Egypt. So he kind of had to check her, like, just because, she wanted to come at me with this line, that this is the good that you did for me. Well, did any of the plagues touch you? And since she said no, he's like, well, there you go. There's your There's your reward right there. None of the plagues have touched you. You know.
So was she the one that plucked him out of the river?
Yep.
Okay.
She's Bethia is the one that raised him. You know.
Okay.
And so yeah, so she kind of tried to run that line of like, this is how you repay me for raising you up as my own, and like, well, this is how the Most High has repaid you for not being touched. You know, so you might want to count your blessings right quick.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see here. I like the actually the just before we just left off and how this chapter 81 ended. I thought that was pretty powerful and as a kind of like a cliffhanger right here, because right here, um, therefore it shall be when Yahuwah thy Elohim shall have given thee rest from all thine enemies round about the land which Yahuwah thy Elohim giveth thee for an inheritance to possess it, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. Thou shalt not forget it. And the king who shall have pity on Amalek, upon his memory, upon his seed, behold, I will require it of him, and I will cut him off from amongst his people. And Moshe wrote all these things in a book, and he enjoyed the children of Yasharal respecting all these matters. This is a pretty tough cliffhanger right here, family. You know what I'm saying? So not only to give us the knowledge that these children of Amalek, not just the king, but these giants, these other types of people, you know, that we should never forget that we went to battle with these people, but to never have pity on them as well. Because the king who has pity on the children of Amalek and what we had to do to get them rid them from off the earth, the Most High is going to require something from you. So you're gonna require that in return. Like, so don't have no pity on Amalek, nor nor what happens to any of
Hmm.
them. Yeah, that's pretty bold
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
yeah,
Mhm. I see a lot. We're seeing a lot of violence, period, right now. But I mean, these mass shootings look like they're going to ramp up. And we've always been criticized about that black on black crime and so on and so forth. But these last couple of shootings here, it wasn't us, and we weren't out. We're good for getting our own. When as soon as they said lone shooter, I already knew who it was. You know,
yeah,
it we we typically kind of roll in packs, so to speak. Um, and I don't want to sound callous, but I'm like, huh, told you so. I mean, I see this. I mean, we're learning more and more that, the tides are going to change. Um, and these roles are going to be reversed. We will be made the head and not the tail. And or even with the Asian thing, oh, black people come on and band with us because you guys are being, tough on us and beating us up, but we're not seeing us doing it. You know, six of us didn't kill six of you. One of us didn't kill six of you. Um, so I I I can't. Unfortunately, I can't feel sorry. I keep just kind of saying, let the Most High's will be done, because if I feel like if I show that pity and I try to get involved, that the things that God promised me are not going to come to pass. It means that I'm validating your plight when we've had 400 years of the same plight. I can't help you in your problem, and I can't even help myself in mine. I can't do that right now. I have to be selfish um with how I spend my time and what I focus my thoughts in on.
I hear you. And I mean, I'm not going to personally rejoice, over them until it's
No,
time, until it's that time. But until
no, not at
then,
all.
right? Because that's the guilt. That's the thing that that Esau and his children had done to us, was rejoiced
Not
over us,
rejoice, but just
right?
not be able to get involved. I can't.
Oh
It's
yeah.
very different. It's like I can't. I would love to feel sorry for you. I don't feel anything. Yeah, I believe that that's a very I'm very legally about it. Like that's against the law. People shouldn't do that, and I don't understand why um you know um laws have allowed things like this to continue. And what I say by that is this same guy and people like him probably have committed all type of crimes and been let go and don't even have a criminal record. They'll say, "Oh, he doesn't even have a criminal background." But what we don't know is that years before then, he's gotten in similar trouble, but everything was expunged off his record. But if it were you or I, it would be a very different story. They will put us under the jail.
Mm-hmm. Way up under.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there was a time in which I used to talk about the history of the making of this country, and I would kind of stand up for him on that side. But it does make me kind of not laugh because I don't rejoice. But it's like, oh, so now y'all are sitting here like, no more violence towards Asians. But what about all these years we've been saying stop killing us? Not only that, but even in your own country,
Yes.
what y'all was doing to us. So, but now y'all over
Yes.
here and y'all want no violence towards y'all. Okay, okay.
Hmm.
That
And you want
like
us to help
like good luck
facilitate
with
it.
that. You good luck with that.
Right.
Like y'all just like nah. Yeah. So yeah. Once again, I don't try to take joy in what's happening to those folks, but at the same time, no, I feel you. As far as like my full on sympathy, no, no. I'm sorry, I can't give you my full on sympathy.
Right.
But let's go ahead and get jumping on up into chapter 82. So, and the children of Yasharal proceeded from Rephidim, and they encamped in the wilderness of Sinai. And in the third month from their going forth from Egypt, and at that time came Reuel the Midianite, the father-in-law of Moshe, with Zipporah his daughter and her two sons. And he had heard of the wonders of Yahuwah which he had done to Yasharal, that he had delivered them from the hand of Egypt. And Reuel came to Moshe in the wilderness where he was encamped, where was where was the mountain of Elohim. And Moshe went forth to meet his father-in-law with great honor, and all Yasharal was with him. And Reuel and his children remained amongst the Yasharalites for many days. And Reuel knew Yahuwah from that day forward. And in the third month from the children of Yasharal's departure from Egypt, on the sixth day thereof, Yahuwah gave to Yasharal the Ten Commandments on Mount Sinai. And all Yasharal heard all these commandments, and all Yasharal rejoiced exceedingly in Yahuwah on that day. And the glory of Yahuwah rested upon Mount Sinai, and he called to Moshe, and Moshe came in the midst of a cloud and ascended the mountain. And Moshe was upon the mount 40 days and 40 nights, and he ate no bread and drank no water. And Yahuwah instructed him in the statutes and judgments and orders to teach the children of Yasharal. And Yahuwah wrote the Ten Commandments, which he had commanded the children of Yasharal upon two tablets of stone, which he gave to Moshe to command the children of Yasharal. And at the end of 40 days and 40 nights, when Yahuwah had finished speaking to Moshe on Mount Sinai, Then Yahuwah gave to Moshe the tablets of stone, written with the finger of Elohim. And when the children of Yasharal saw that Moshe tarried to come down from the mount, they gathered round Aharon and said, "As for this man Moshe, we know not what has become of him. Now therefore rise up, make unto us Elohim who should go before us, so that thou shalt not die." And Aharon was greatly afraid of the people, and he ordered them to bring him gold, and he made it into a molten calf for the people. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, before he had come down from the mount, "Get thee down, for thy people whom thou didst bring forth from Egypt have corrupted themselves. They have made to themselves a molten calf, and have bowed down to it. Now therefore leave me, that I may consume them from off the earth, for they are a stiff-necked people." And Moshe besought the countenance of Yahuwah, and he prayed to Yahuwah for the people on account of the calf which they had made. And he afterward descended from the mount, and in his hands were the 2 tablets of stone, which Elohim had given him to command the Yasharalites. And when Moshe approached the camp and saw the calf which the people had made, the anger of Moshe was kindled, and he broke the tablets under the mount. And Moshe came to the camp, and he took the calf and burned it with fire, and ground it till it became fine dust. And he strewed it upon the water, and gave it to the Yasharalites to drink. And there died of the people by the swords of each other about 3,000 men who had made the calf. And on the morrow, Moshe said to the people, "I will go up to Yahuwah. Peradventure I may make an atonement for your sins, which you have sinned to Yahuwah." And Moshe again went up to Yahuwah, and he remained with Yahuwah 40 days and 40 nights. And during the 40 days did Moshe entreat Yahuwah on behalf of the children of Yasharal. And Yahuwah hearkened to the prayer of Moshe, and Yahuwah was entreated of him on behalf of Yasharal. Then spake Yahuwah to Moshe to hew 2 stone tablets and bring them up to Yahuwah, who would write upon them the 10 commandments. Now Moshe did so, and he came down and hewed the 2 tablets and went up to Mount Sinai to Yahuwah. And Yahuwah wrote the 10 commandments upon the tablets. And Moshe remained yet with Yahuwah 40 days and 40 nights, and Yahuwah instructed him in the statutes and judgments to impart to Yasharal. And Yahuwah commanded him respecting the children of Yasharal that they should make a sanctuary for Yahuwah, that his name might rest therein. And Yahuwah showed him the likeness of the sanctuary and the likeness of all the vessels. And at the end of the 40 days, Moshe came down from the mount, and the 2 tablets were in his hand. And Moshe came to the children of Yasharal and spoke to them all the words of Yahuwah. And he taught them laws, statutes, and judgments which Yahuwah had taught him. And Moshe told the children of Yasharal the word of Yahuwah, that a sanctuary be made for him to dwell amongst the children of Yasharal. And the people rejoiced greatly at all the good which Yahuwah had spoke to them through Moshe, and they said, "We will do all that Yahuwah has spoken to thee." And the people rose up like one man, and they made gorgeous offerings to the sanctuary of Yahuwah. And each man brought the offering of Yahuwah for the work of the sanctuary and for all its service. On one sec. There you go, bro. Bring you back on in there. All right. And all the wise men who were practiced in work came and made the sanctuary of Yahuwah, according to all that Yahuwah had commanded, every man in the work in which he had been practiced. And all the wise men in heart made the sanctuary and its furniture and all the vessels for the holy service, as Yahuwah had commanded Moshe. And the work of the sanctuary of the tabernacle was completed at the end of 5 months. And the children of Yasharal did all that Yahuwah had commanded Moshe. And they brought the sanctuary and all its furniture to Moshe, like unto the representation which Yahuwah had shown to Moshe. So did the children of Yasharal. And Moshe saw the work, and behold, they did as Yahuwah had commanded him. So Moshe blessed them. And in the 12th month, in the 23rd day of the month, Moshe took Aharon and his sons, and he dressed them in their garments, and anointed them, and did unto them as Yahuwah had commanded him. And Moshe brought up all the offerings which Yahuwah had on that day commanded them, or commanded him. Moshe afterward took Aharon and his sons, and said to them, For 7 days shall you remain at the door of the tabernacle, for thus am I commanded. And Aharon and his sons did all that Yahuwah had commanded them through Moshe, and they remained for 7 days at the door of the tabernacle. And on the 8th day, being the first day of the month, on the 2nd year from the Yasharalites' departure from Egypt, Moshe erected the sanctuary. And Moshe put up all the furniture of the tabernacle and all the furniture of the sanctuary. And he did all that Yahuwah had commanded him. And Moshe called to Aharon and his sons, and they brought the burnt offering and the sin offering for themselves and the children of Yasharal, as Yahuwah had commanded Moshe. And on that day, the two sons of Aharon, Nadab and Abihu, took strange fire and brought it before Yahuwah, who had not commanded them. And a fire went forth from before Yahuwah and consumed them, and they died before Yahuwah on that day. Then on the day when Moshe had completed to erect the sanctuary, the princes of the children of Yasharal began to bring their offering before Yahuwah for the dedication of the altar. And they brought up their offerings, each prince for 1 day, a prince each day for 12 days. And all the offerings which they brought, each man in his day, 1 silver charger weighing 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour, mingled with oil, for a meat offering, 1 spoon weighing 10 shekels of gold, full of incense, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, and 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice, a peace offering, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he goats, 5 lambs of a year old. Thus did the 12 princes of Yasharal day by day, each man in his day. And it was after this, in the 13th day of the month, that Moshe commanded the children of Yasharal to observe the Passover. And the children of Yasharal kept the Passover in its season in the 14th day of the month, as Yahuwah had commanded Moshe. So did the children of Yasharal. In the 2nd month of the 1st day thereof, Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Number the heads of all the males of the children of Yasharal from 20 years old and upward. Go ahead and get you back on in here. There you go, bro. All right. Number the heads of all the males of male children of Yasharal from 20 years old and upward. Thou and thy brother Aharon and the 12 princes of Yasharal. And Moshe did so. And Aharon came with the 12 princes of Yasharal, and they numbered the children of Yasharal in the wilderness of Sinai. And the numbers of the children of Yasharal by the houses of their fathers from 20 years old and upward were 603,550. But the children of Levi were not numbered amongst their brethren in the children of Yasharal. And the number of all the males of the children of Yasharal from 1 month old and upward was 22,000 273. And the number of the children of Levi from 1 month old and above was 22,000. And Moshe placed the priests and the Levites, each man in his service, to his burden to serve the sanctuary of the tabernacle, as Yahuwah had commanded Moshe. And on the 20th day of the month, the cloud was taken away from the tabernacle of testimony. And at that time, the children of Yasharal continued their journey from the wilderness of Sinai, and they took a journey of 3 days. And the cloud rested upon the wilderness of Paran. There, the anger of Yahuwah was kindled against Yasharal, for they had provoked Yahuwah in asking him for meat that they might eat. And Yahuwah hearkened to their voice and gave them meat, which they ate for 1 month. But after this, the anger of Yahuwah was kindled against them, and he smote them with a great slaughter. And they were buried there in that place. And the children of Yasharal called that place Kebroth Hataba, because there they buried the people that lusted flesh. And they departed from Kebroth Hataba and pitched in Hazeroth, which is in the wilderness of Paran. And whilst the children of Yasharal were in Hazeroth, and the anger of Yahuwah was kindled against Miriam on account of Moshe, and she became leprous, white as snow. And she was confined without the camp for 7 days until she had been received again after her leprosy. And the children of Yasharal afterward departed from Hazeroth and pitched in the end of the wilderness of Paran. At that time, Yahuwah spoke to Moshe to send 12 men from the children of Yasharal, 1 man to a tribe, to go and explore the land of Canaan. And Moshe sent the 12 men, and they came to the land of Canaan to search and examine it. And they explored the whole land from the wilderness of Sin to Rechab. And thou comest, as thou comest to Hamath. And at the end of 40 days, they came to Moshe and Aharon. And they brought him a word as it was in their hearts. And 10 of the men brought up an evil report to the children of Yasharal and of the land which they had explored, saying, it is better for us to return to Egypt than to go to this land, a land that consumes its inhabitants. But Yahushua, or Yahusha, the son of Nun, and Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, were who were those of that explored the land, said, the land is exceedingly good. If Yahuwah delight in us, then he will bring us this land and give it to us, for it is a land flowing with milk and honey. But the children of Yasharal would not hearken to them, and they hearkened to the words of the 10 men who brought up an evil report of the land. And Yahuwah heard the murmurings of the children of Yasharal, and he was angry and swore, saying, surely not 1 man of this wicked generation shall see the land from 20 years old and upward, excepting Caleb and the son of Jephunneh and Yahusha, the son of Nun. Surely not 1 man of this wicked generation shall see the land from 20 years old and upward, excepting Caleb. And I already read that part there. But surely this wicked generation shall perish in this wilderness, and their children shall come to the land, and they shall possess it. So the anger of Yahuwah was kindled against Yasharal, and he made them wander in the wilderness for 40 years until the end of that wicked generation, because they did not follow Yahuwah. And the people dwelt in the wilderness of Paran a long time. And they afterward proceeded to the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea, or the Sea of Reeds. At that time, Korah, the son of Yetzer, the son of Kahath, the son of Levi, took many men of the children of Yasharal, and they rose up and quarreled with Moshe and Aharon and the whole congregation. And Yahuwah was angry with them, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up, with their houses and all belonging to them, and all the men belonging to Korah. And after this, Elohim made the people go round by the way of Mount Seir for a long time. At that time, Yahuwah said unto Moshe, provoke not a war against the children of Esau, for I will not give to you anything belonging to them, as much as the sole of the foot could tread upon, for I have given Mount Seir for inheritance to Esau. Therefore did the children of Esau fight against the children of Seir in former times, and Yahuwah had delivered the children of Seir into the hands of the children of Esau, and destroyed them from before them. And the children of Esau dwelt in their stead unto this day. Therefore Yahuwah said to the children of Yasharal, fight not against the children of Esau, your brethren, for nothing in their land belongs to you, but you may buy food from them for money and eat it, and you may buy water of them for money and drink it. And the children of Yasharal did according to the word of Yahuwah. And the children of Yasharal went about the wilderness, going round by the way of Mount Sinai for a long time, and touched not the children of Esau. And they continued in that district for 19 years. At that time died Latinus, king of the children of Kittim, in the 45th year of his reign, which is the 14th year of the children of Yasharal's departure from Egypt. And they buried him in his place, which he had built. Bless myself, family. Sorry about that. In the 45th year of his reign, which is the 14th year of the children of Yasharal's departure from Egypt. And they buried him in his place, which he had built for himself in the land of Kittim. And Abimenus reigned in his place for 38 years. And the children of Yasharal passed the boundary of the children of Esau in those days, at the end of the 19 years, and they came and passed the road of the wilderness of Moab. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, besiege not Moab, and do not fight against them, for I will give you nothing of their land. And the children of Yasharal passed the road of the wilderness of Moab for 19 years, and they did not fight against them. And in the 36th year of the children of Yasharal's departure from Egypt, Yahuwah smote the heart of Sihon, king of the Amorites, and he waged war, and he went forth to fight against the children of Moab. And Sihon sent messengers to Beor, the son of Janeas, the son of Balaam, counselor to the king of Egypt, and to Balaam his son, to curse Moab in order that it might be delivered into the hand of Sihon. And the messengers went and brought Beor, the son of Janeas, and Balaam his son from Pethor and Mesopotamia. So Beor and Balaam his son came to the city of Sihon, and they cursed Moab and their king in the presence of Sihon, king of the Amorites. So Sihon went out with his whole army, and he went to Moab and fought against them, and he subdued them, and Yahuwah delivered them into his hands, and Sihon slew the king of Moab. And Sihon took all the cities of Moab in the battle, and he also took Heshbon from them, for Heshbon was one of the cities of Moab. And Sihon placed his princes and his nobles in Heshbon, and Heshbon belonged to Sihon in those days. Therefore, the parable speakers, Beor and Balaam his son, uttered these words, saying, come unto Heshbon, the city of Sihon, will be built and established. Woe unto thee, Moab, thou art lost, O people of Chemosh. Behold, it is written upon the book of the law of Elohim. And when Sihon had conquered Moab, he placed guards in the cities which he had taken from Moab, and a considerable number of the children of Moab fell in battle in the hand of Sihon. And he made a great capture of them, sons and daughters, and he slew their king. So Sihon turned back to his own land. And Sihon gave numerous presents of silver and gold to Beor and Balaam his son, and he dismissed them, and they went to Mesopotamia to their home and country. At that time, the children of Yasharal passed from the road of the wilderness of Moab, and they returned and surrounded the wilderness of Edom. So the whole congregation came to the wilderness of Sin in the first month of the 14th year, or the 40th year from their departure from Egypt. And the children of Yasharal dwelt there in Kadesh of the wilderness of Sin. And Miriam died there, and she was buried there. At that time, Moshe sent messengers to Hadad, king of Edom, saying, Thus says thy brother Yasharal, let me pass, I pray thee, through thy land. We will not pass through field or vineyard. We will not drink the water of the well. We will not walk in the king's road. And Edom said to him, Thou shalt not pass through my country. And Edom went forth to meet the children of Yasharal with a mighty people. And the children of Esau refused to let the children of Yasharal pass through their land. So the Yasharalites removed from them and fought not against them. For before this, Yahuwah had commanded the children of Yasharal, saying, You shall not fight against the children of Esau. Therefore the Yasharalites removed from them and did not fight against them. So the children of Yasharal departed from Kadesh, and all the people came to Mount Hor. And at that time, Yahuwah said to Moshe, Tell thy brother Aharon that he shall die there, for he shall not come to the land which I have given to the children of Yasharal. And Aharon went up at the command of Yahuwah to Mount Hor on the 40th year, and in the 5th month, and in the first day of the month. And Aharon was 123 years old when he died in Mount Hor. And King Arad, the Canaanite, who dwelt in the south, heard that the Yasharalites had come by the way of the spies, and he arranged his forces to fight against the Yasharalites. And the children of Yasharal were greatly afraid of him, for he had a great and heavy army. So the children of Yasharal resolved to return to Egypt. And the children of Yasharal turned back about the distance of 3 days' journey unto Maseroth, Benai Jachan, for they were greatly afraid on account of the king of Arad. And the children of Yasharal would not get back in their places, so they remained in Benai Jachan for 30 days. And when the children of Levi saw that the children of Yasharal would not turn back, they were jealous for the sake of Yahuwah. And they rose up and fought against the Yasharalites, their brethren, and slew of them a great body, and forced them to turn back to their place, Mount Hor. And when they returned, King Arad was still arranging his host for battle against the Yasharalites. And Yasharal vowed a vow, saying, If thou wilt deliver this people into my hand, then I will utterly destroy their cities. And Yahuwah hearkened to the voice of Yasharal, and he delivered the Canaanites into their hand. And he utterly destroyed them and their cities. And he called the name of that place Hormah. And the children of Yasharal journeyed from Mount Hor and pitched in Abath. And they journeyed from Abath, and they pitched in, family, have mercy on me. All right, I'm going to try it, though. Let's get it. Aji Abarim. I'm going to try that one more again. Aji Abarim, in the border of Moab. And the children of Yasharal sent to Moab, saying, Let us pass now through thy land into our place. But the children of Moab would not suffer the children of Yasharal to pass through their land. For the children of Moab were greatly afraid, lest the children of Yasharal should do unto them as Sihon, king of the Amorites, had done to them, who had taken their land and had slain many of them. Therefore, Moab would not suffer the Yasharites to pass through his land. And Yahuwah commanded the children of Yasharal, saying that they should not fight against Moab. So the Yasharites removed from Moab. And the children of Yasharal journeyed from the border of Moab, and they came to the other side of Arnon, the border of Moab, between Moab and the Amorites. And they pitched in the border of Sihon, king of the Amorites, in the wilderness of Kedemoth. And the children of Yasharal sent messengers to Sihon, king of the Amorites, saying, "Let us pass through thy land. We will not turn into the fields or into the vineyards. We will go along by the king's highway until we shall have passed thy border." But Sihon would not suffer the Yasharites to pass. So what we keep getting right here, family, I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick little what is going on break. Okay, so what is going on here that we're seeing is the punishment of this wandering in the wilderness for 40 years, just playing out, just drawing itself out a little bit more, and so they're not allowed. Like Esau wouldn't let them pass through, Moab wouldn't let them pass through, Sihon, king of the Amorites, would not let them pass on through. So they're being forced to just wander and wander and wander and wander. All this walking in circles and figure eights and doing whatever, because since they wouldn't rely on the Most High Yah, the Most High Yah resolved to destroy that wicked generation out of them. So, this is kind of what I'm kind of getting right here. So, man, all this. So Sihon collected all the people of the Amorites and went forth into the wilderness to meet the children of Yasharal, and he fought against Yasharal in Jahaz. And Yahuwah delivered Sihon, king of the Amorites, into the hand of the children of Yasharal. And Yasharal smote all the people of Sihon with the edge of the sword, and avenged the cause of Moab. And the children of Yasharal took possession of the land of Sihon, from Aram unto Jabuk, unto the children of Ammon, and they took all the spoil of the cities. And Yasharal took all these cities, and Yasharal dwelt in all the cities of the Amorites. And all the children of Yasharal resolved to fight against the children of Ammon to take their land also. So Yahuwah said to the children of Yasharal, "Do not besiege the children of Ammon, neither stir up battle against them, for I will give nothing to you of their land." And the children of Yasharal hearkened to the word of Yahuwah, and did not fight against the children of Ammon. And the children of Yasharal turned and went up by the way of Bashan to the land of Og, king of Bashan. And Og, the king of Bashan, went out to meet the Yasharalites in battle. And he had with him many valiant men, a very strong force from the people of the Amorites. And Og, king of Bashan, was a very powerful man, but Aharon, his son, was exceedingly powerful, even stronger than he was. And Og said in his heart, "Behold, now the whole camp of Yasharal takes up a space of 3 parsa. Now will I smite them at once without sword or spear." And Og went up to Mount Jahaz, and took therefrom one large stone, the length of which was 3 parsa, and he placed it in his hand, or placed it on his head, and resolved to throw it upon the camp of the children of Yasharal, to smite all the Yasharalites with that stone. And the angel of Yahuwah came and pierced the stone upon the head of Og, and the stone fell upon the neck of Og, that Og fell to the earth on account of the weight of that stone upon his neck. At that time, Yahuwah said to the children of Yasharal, "Be not afraid of him, for I have given him and all his people and all his land into your hand, and you shall do to him as you did to Sihon." And Moshe went down to him with a small number of the children of Yasharal, and Moshe smote Og with a stick at the ankles of his feet and slew him. And the children of Yasharal afterward pursued the children of Og and all his people, and they beat and destroyed them till there was no remnant left of them. Moshe afterwards sent some of the children of Yasharal to spy out Jazer, for Jazer was a very famous city. And the spies went to Jazer and explored it, and the spies trusted in Yahuwah, and they fought against the men of Jazer. And these men took Jazer and its villages, and Yahuwah delivered them into their hand. And they drove out the Amorites who had been there. And the children of Yasharal took the land of the two kings of the Amorites, 60 cities, which were on the other side of Jordan, from the brooks of Arnon unto Mount Hermon. And the children of Yasharal journeyed and came into the plain of Moab, which is on this side of the Jordan by Jericho. And the children of Moab heard all the evil which the children of Yasharal had done to the two kings of the Amorites, to Sihon and Og. So all the men of Moab were greatly afraid of the Yasharalites. And the elders of Moab said, Behold, the two kings of the Amorites, Sihon and Og, who were more powerful than all the kings of the earth, could not stand against the children of Yasharal. How then can we stand before them? Surely they sent us a message before now to pass through our land on their way, and we would not suffer them. Now they will turn upon us with their heavy swords and destroy us. And Moab was distressed on account of the children of Yasharal, and they were greatly afraid of them. And they counseled together what was to be done to the children of Yasharal. And the elders of Moab resolved and took one of their men, Balak, the son of Zippor, the Moabite, and he made him king over them at that time. And Balak was a very wise man. And the elders of Moab rose up and sent to the children of Midian to make peace with them. For a great battle and enmity had been in those days between Moab and Midian, from the days of Hadad, the son of Bedad, king of Edom, who smote Midian in the field of Moab unto these days. And the children of Moab sent to the children of Midian, and they made peace with them. And the elders of Midian came to the land of Moab to make peace in behalf of the children of Midian. And the elders of Moab counseled with the elders of Midian what to do in order to save their lives from Yasharal. And the children of Moab said unto the elders of Midian, Now therefore the children of Yasharal lick up all that are around about us, as the ox licks up the grass of the field. For thus they did to the two kings of the Amorites, who are stronger than we are. And the elders of Midian said to Moab, We have heard that at that time, when Sihon king of the Amorites fought against you, when he prevailed over you and took your land, and he had sent to Beor and the son of Janeas, and to Balaam his son from Mesopotamia, and they came and cursed you. Therefore did the hand of Sihon prevail over you, and they took your land. Now therefore send you also to Balaam his son, for he still remains in his land, and give him his hire, that he may come and curse all the people of whom you are afraid. So the elders of Moab heard this thing, and it pleased them to send for Balaam the son of Beor. And so Balak the son of Zippor, king of Moab, sent messengers to Balaam, saying, Behold, there is a people come out of Egypt. Behold, they cover the face of the earth, and they abide over against me. Now therefore come and curse this people from me, for they are too mighty for me. Peradventure I shall prevail to fight against them and drive them out. For I heard that he whom thou blessed is blessed, and whom thou cursed is cursed. So the messengers of Balak went to Balaam and brought Balaam to curse the people to fight against Moab. And Balaam came to Balak to curse Yasharal, and Yahuwah said to Balaam, curse not these people, for it is blessed. And Balak urged Balaam day by day to curse Yasharal, but Balaam hearkened not to Balak on account of the word of Yahuwah, which he had spoken to Balaam. And when Balak saw that Balaam would not accede to his wish, he rose up and went home. And Balaam also returned into his land, and he went from there to Midian. And the children of Yasharal journeyed from the plain of Moab, and they pitched by Jordan from Beth Jessamah. Trying to get that right there because it's being, on one side and the other. Bet Jessamah, even unto Abel Shittim, at the end of the plains of Moab. And when the children of Yasharal abode on the plain of Shittim, they began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. And the children of Yasharal approached Moab, and the children of Moab pitched their tents opposite to the camp of the children of Yasharal. And the children of Moab were afraid of the children of Yasharal. And the children of Moab took all their daughters and their wives of beautiful aspect and comely appearance, and dressed them in gold and silver and costly garments. And the children of Moab seated those women at the door of their tents, in order that the children of Yasharal might see them and turn to them, and not fight against Moab. And all the children of Moab did this thing to the children of Yasharal, and every man placed his wife and daughter at the door of his tent. And all the children of Yasharal saw the act of the children of Moab. And the children of Yasharal turned to the daughters of Moab and coveted them, and they went to them. And it came to pass that when a Hebrew came to the door of the tent of Moab, he saw a daughter of Moab and desired her in his heart. And he spoke with her at the door of the tent that which he desired. Whilst they were speaking together, the men of the tent would come out and speak to the Hebrew like unto these words, surely you know that we are brethren. We are all the descendants of Lot, and the descendants of Abraham his brother. Wherefore then will you not remain with us? And wherefore will you not eat our bread and our sacrifice? And when the children of Moab had thus overwhelmed him with their speeches and enticed him by their flattering words, they seated him in the tent and cooked and sacrificed for him. And he ate of their sacrifice and of their bread, and then gave him wine, and he drank and became intoxicated. And they placed before him a beautiful damsel, and he did with her as he liked, for he knew not what he was doing, and he had drunk plentifully of wine. Thus did the children of Moab to Yasharal in that place, in the plain of Shittim, and the anger of Yahuwah was kindled against Yasharal on account of this matter. And he sent a pestilence amongst them, and there died of the Yasharalites 24,000 men. Now, therefore, was a man of the children of Shimeon, whose name was Zimri, the son of Salu, who connected himself with the Midianite Cosbi, the daughter of Zur, king of Midian, in the sight of all the children of Yasharal. And Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, or Eleazar, the son of Aharon, the priest, saw this wicked thing which Zimri had done, and he took a spear and rose up and went after them, and pierced them both and slew them, and the pestilence ceased from the children of Yasharal. At that time, after the pestilence, Yahuwah said to Moshe and to Eleazar, the son of Aharon, the priest, saying, number the heads of the whole community of the children of Yasharal from 20 years old and upward, all that went forth in the army. And Moshe and Eleazar numbered the children of Yasharal after their families. And the number of Yasharal was 700,730. And the number of the children of Levi from 1 month old and upward was 23,000. And amongst these was not a man of those numbered by Moshe and Aharon in the wilderness of Sinai. For Yahuwah had told them that they would die in the wilderness. So they all died. And not one had been left of them excepting Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, and Joshua, the son of Nun. And it was after this that Yahuwah said to Moshe, say unto the children of Yasharal to avenge upon Midian the cause of their brethren, the children of Yasharal. And Moshe did so. And the children of Yasharal chose from amongst them 12,000 men, being 1,000 to a tribe, and they went to Midian. And the children of Yasharal warred against Midian, and they slew every male. Also the 5 princes of Midian, and Balaam, the son of Beor, did they slay with the sword. And the children of Yasharal took the wives of Midian captive, with their little ones and their cattle and all belonging to them. And they took all the spoil, and they prayed, and they brought it to Moshe and to Eleazar, to the plains of Moab. And Moshe and Eleazar and all the princes of the congregation went forth to meet with them with joy. And they divided all the spoil of Midian. And the children of Yasharal had been revenged upon Midian for the cause of their brethren, the children of Yasharal. At that time, Yahuwah said to Moshe, behold, thy days are approaching to an end. Take now Joshua, the son of Nun, thy servant, and place him in the tabernacle, and I will command him. And Moshe did so. And Yahuwah appeared into the tabernacle in a pillar of a cloud. And the pillar of cloud stood at the entrance of the tabernacle. And Yahuwah commanded Joshua, the son of Nun, and said unto him, be strong and courageous, for thou shalt bring the children of Yasharal to the land which I swore to give them, and I will be with thee. And Moshe said unto Joshua, be strong and courageous, for thou wilt make the children of Yasharal inherit the land, and Yahuwah will be with thee. He will not leave thee nor forsake thee. Be not afraid nor disheartened. And Moshe called to all the children of Yasharal and said to them, you have seen all the good which Yahuwah your Elohim has done for you in the wilderness. Now therefore observe all the words of this law, and walk in the way of Yahuwah your Elohim. Turn not from the way which Yahuwah has commanded you, either to the right or to the left. And Moshe taught the children of Yasharal statutes and judgments and laws to do in the land as Yahuwah commanded him. And he taught them the way of Yahuwah and his laws. Behold, they are written upon the book of the law of Elohim, which he had gave the children of Yasharal by the hand of Moshe. And Moshe finished commanding the children of Yasharal, and Yahuwah said to him, saying, go up to the mount of Abarim, and die there, and be gathered unto thy people, as Aharon thy brother was gathered. And Moshe went up as Yahuwah commanded him, and he died there in the land of Moab, by the order of Yahuwah, in the 40th year from the Yasharites going forth from the land of Egypt. And the children of Yasharal wept for Moshe in the plains of Moab for 30 days. And the days of weeping and mourning for Moshe were completed. And it was after the death of Moshe that Yahuwah said to Joshua, the son of Nun, saying, rise up and pass the Jordan to the land which I have given to the children of Yasharal, and thou shalt make the children of Yasharal inherit the land. Every place upon which the sole of your feet shall tread, shall belong to you, from the wilderness of Lebanon unto the great river, the river of Parath, shall be your boundary. No man shall stand up against thee all the days of thy life. As I was with Moshe, so will I be with thee. Only be strong and of good courage to observe all the law which Moshe commanded thee. Turn not from the way, either to the right or to the left, in order that thou mayest prosper in all that thou doest. And Joshua commanded the officers of Yasharal, saying, pass through the camp and command the people, saying, prepare for yourselves provisions, for in 3 days more you will pass the Jordan to possess the land. And the officers of the children of Yasharal did so, and they commanded the people, and they did all that Joshua had commanded them. And Joshua sent 2 men to spy out the land of Jericho, and the men went and spied out Jericho. And at the end of 7 days, they came to Joshua in the camp and said to him, Yahuwah has delivered the whole land into our hand, and the inhabitants thereof are melted with fear because of us. And it came to pass after that Joshua rose up in the morning, and all Yasharal with him, and they journeyed from Shittim. And Joshua and all the Yasharal with him passed the Jordan. And Joshua was 82 years old when he passed the Jordan with Yasharal. And the people went up from Jordan on the 10th day of the first month. And they encamped in Gilgal at the eastern corner of Jericho. And the children of Yasharal kept the Passover in Gilgal, in the plains of Jericho, on the 14th day of the month, or at the month, as it was written in the law of Moshe. And the manna ceased at that time on the morrow of the Passover, and there was no more manna for the children of Yasharal. And they ate of the produce of the land of Canaan. And Jericho was entirely closed against the children of Yasharal. No one came out or went in. And it was in the 2nd month, on the 1st day of the month, that Yahuwah said to Joshua, rise up, and behold, I have given Jericho into thy hand, with all the people thereof. And all your fighting men shall go round the city once each day. Thus shall you do for 6 days. And the priests shall blow upon trumpets, and when you shall hear the sound of the trumpet, all the people shall give a great shouting, that the walls of the city shall fall down, and the people shall go up every man against his opponent. And Joshua did so according to all that Yahuwah had commanded him. And on the 7th day, when they went around the city 7 times, and the priests blew upon trumpets, and the 7th round, Joshua said to the people, shout, for Yahuwah has delivered the whole city into our hands, and the city and all that it contains shall be accursed to Yahuwah. And keep yourselves from the accursed things, lest you make the camp of Yasharal accursed and trouble it. But all the silver and gold and brass and iron shall be consecrated to Yahuwah. They shall come into the treasury of Yahuwah. And the people blew upon trumpets and made a great shouting, and the walls of Jericho fell down. And all the people went up, every man straight before him, and they took the city and utterly destroyed all that was in it, both man and woman, young and old, ox and sheep and ass, with the edge of the sword. And they burned the whole city with fire. Only the vessels of silver and gold and brass and iron they put into the treasury of Yahuwah. And Joshua swore at that time, saying, cursed be the man who builds Jericho. He shall lay the foundation thereof in his firstborn, and his youngest son shall he set upon the gates thereof. And Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, the son of Zerah, son of Yehuda, dealt treacherously in the accursed thing. And he took of the accursed thing and hid it in the tent. And the anger of Yahuwah was kindled against Yasharal. And it was after this, when the children of Yasharal had returned from burning Jericho, Yahshua sent men to spy out also Ai and to fight against them. And the men went up and spied out Ai, and they returned and said, let not all the people go up with thee to Ai. Only let about 3,000 men go up and smite the city, for the men thereof are but few. And Yahshua did so. And there went up with him of the children of Yasharal about 3,000 men, and they fought against the men of Ai. And the battle was severe against Yasharal, and the men of Ai smote 36 men of Yasharal. And the children of Yasharal fled from before the men of Ai. And when Yahshua saw this thing, he tore his garments and fell upon his face to the ground before Yahuwah. And he and the elders of Yasharal, and they put dust upon their heads. And Yahshua said, why, O Yahuwah, didst thou bring this people over the Jordan? What shall I say after the Yashuralites have turned their backs against their enemies? Now, therefore, all the Canaanites, inhabitants of the land, will hear this thing and surround us and cut off our name. And Yahuwah said to Yahshua, why dost thou fall upon thy face? Rise, get thee off, for the Yashuralites have sinned and taken of the accursed thing, and I will no more be with them unless they destroy the accursed thing from amongst them. And Yahshua rose up and assembled the people and brought the Urim or Urim by the order of Yahuwah. And the tribe of Yehuda was taken, and Achan, the son of Carmi, was taken. And Yehuda or Yahshua said to Achan, tell me, my son, what hast thou done? And Achan said, I saw amongst the spoil of goodly garment of Shinar and 200 shekels of silver, and a wedge of gold of 50 shekels weight. I coveted them and took them, and behold, they are all hid in the earth in the midst of the tent. And Yahshua sent the men who went to and took them from the tent of Achan, and they brought them to Yahshua. And Yahshua took Achan and these utensils and his sons and daughters and all belonging to him, and they brought them into the valley of Achor. And Yahshua burned them with fire, and all the Yashuralites stoned Achan with stones, and they raised over him a heap of stones. Therefore did he call that place the valley of Achor. So Yahuwah's anger was appeased. And Yahshua afterward came to the city and fought against it. And Yahuwah said to Yahshua, fear not, neither be thou dismayed. Behold, I have given into thy hand Ai, her king and her people, and thou shalt do unto them as thou didst to Jericho and her king. Only the spoil thereof and the cattle thereof shall you take for a prey for yourselves. Lay an ambush for the city behind it. So Yahshua did according to the word of Yahuwah, and he chose from amongst the sons of war 30,000 valiant men, and he sent them, and they lay an ambush for the city. And he commanded them, saying, when you should see us, we will flee before them with cunning, and they will pursue us. You shall then rise out of the ambush and take the city. And they did so. And Yahshua fought, and the men of the city went out toward Yasharal, not knowing that they were lying in ambush for them behind the city. And Yahshua and all the Yashuralites feigned themselves, wearied out from before them, and they fled by the way of the wilderness with cunning. And the men of Ai gathered all the people who were in the city to pursue the Yashuralites. And they went out and were drawn away from the city. Not one remained. And they left the city opened and pursued the Yashuralites. And those who were lying in ambush rose up out of their places and hastened to come to the city and took it and set it on fire. And the men of Ai turned back, and behold, the smoke of the city ascended to the skies, and they had no means of retreating either one way or the other. And all the men of Ai were in the midst of Yasharal, some on this side and some on that side, and they smote them, so that not one of them remained. And the children of Yasharal took Milosh, king of Ai, alive, and they brought him to Yahshua, and Yahshua hanged him on a tree, and he died. And the children of Yasharal returned to the city after having burned it, and they smote all those that were in it with the edge of the sword. And the number of those that had fallen of the men of Ai, both man and woman, was 12,000. Only the cattle and the spoil of the city they took to themselves, according to the word of Yahuwah to Yahshua. And all the kings on this side of Jordan, and all the kings of Canaan, heard of the evil which the children of Yasharal had done to Jericho and to Ai. And they gathered themselves together to fight against Yasharal. Only the inhabitants of Gibeon were greatly afraid of the fighting against the Yashuralites, lest they should perish. So they acted cunningly. And they came to Yahshua and to all Yasharal, and said unto them, We have come from a distant land. Now therefore make a covenant with us. And the inhabitants of Gibeon overreached of the children of Yasharal. And the children of Yasharal made a covenant with them, and they made peace with them. And the princes of the congregation swore unto them. But afterward the children of Yasharal knew that they were neighbors to them, and they were dwelling amongst them. But the children of Yasharal slew them not, for they had sworn to them by Yahuwah, and they became hewers of wood and drawers of water. Excuse me. And Yahshua said to them, Why did you deceive me to do this thing to us? And they answered him, saying, Because it was told that thy servants all that you had done to all the kings of the Amorites, and we were greatly afraid of our lives, and we did this thing. And Yahshua appointed them on that day to hew wood and to draw water, and he divided them for slaves to all the tribes of Yasharal. And when, oh my goodness, Adonisdek, king of Jerusalem, heard all that the children of Yasharal had done to Jericho and to Ai, he sent to Hoham, king of Hebron, and to Param, king at Yarmouth, and to Japhia, king of Lachish, and to Deber, king of Eglon, saying, Come up to me and help me, that we may smite the children of Yasharal and the inhabitants of Gibeon, who have made peace with the children of Yasharal. And they gathered themselves together, and the 5 kings of the Amorites went up with all their camps, a mighty people, numerous as the sand of the seashore. And all the kings came and encamped before Gibeon, and they began to fight against the inhabitants of Gibeon. And all the men of Gibeon sent to Yahshua, saying, Come up quickly to us and help us, for all the kings of the Amorites have gathered together to fight against us. And Joshua and all the fighting people went up from Gilgal, and Joshua came suddenly to them and smote these 5 kings with a great slaughter. And Yahuwah confounded them before the children of Yasharal, who smote them with a terrible slaughter in Gibeon, and pursued them along the way that goes up to Beth Horon, unto Makkedah. and they fled from before the children of Yasharal. And whilst they were fleeing, Yahuwah sent upon them hailstones from heaven, and more of them died by the hailstones than by the hold on. And whilst they were fleeing, Yahuwah sent upon them hailstones from heaven, and more of them died by the hailstones than by the slaughter of the children of Yasharal. And the children of Yasharal pursued them, and they still smote them in the road, going on and smiting them. And when they were smiting, the day was declining toward evening, and Yahshua said in the sight of all the people, Sun, stand thou still upon Gibeon, and thou moon in the valley of oh my goodness, Ajalon, until the nation shall have revenged itself upon its enemies. And Yahuwah hearkened to the voice of Yahshua, and the sun stood still in the midst of the heavens, and it stood still 36 moments. And the moon also stood still and hastened not to go down a whole day. And there was not as no one and horn, and there was no day like that before it or after it, that Yahuwah hearkened to the voice of a man, for Yahuwah fought for Yasharal. Whew. All right, so we're at the end of the reading right there. Man, some of those chapters, family, they felt odd reading. Like there's certain little things here and there, and trying to read it, it's like I couldn't read it smooth. So I do apologize, but let's see here. Probably have what's happening. Let's go ahead and pull open the chat right quick. Well, as far as joining the panel goes, I mean, I can bring you on if you got some insights and some things. Probably have to let me see here. I'm trying to figure a way to go ahead and bring you in on this one because I don't have you on. Let's see here. It's like this. I do this every now and again. Sorry about that. Making a little bit of a mess.
Hey, am I clear now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Bro. Okay,
Yep.
yeah. How y'all doing, man? Shalom, shalom, shalom. I made it home. All praise to the Most High.
All praise.
All praise to the Most High. Good to have you back, clean and clear.
Yeah, I was just typing an answer to Mr. Sean Harris, man. I was like, we were just talking about having guests. So I
Oh
was
yeah,
like, you gonna probably I was about to put that's something you should ask you. So but we were just talking about having guests. Because a lot
no
of people
doubt.
got a lot of stuff, man. A lot of people got a lot of stuff to like. There's a whole lot of fellowship going on, man. It's a
That's
whole
what's
lot of
up.
fellowship going on, especially in the chat.
Yeah, that's what's up. All praise to the Most High Yah. 14 people in the chat. That's good numbers for right now because we really haven't been having that many people in. But very much appreciate you being here, Mr. Sean Harris. Sure enough, appreciate that. I went in and put my email right there, the email for the channel in there. Go ahead and shoot me an email, and I'll go ahead and try to go ahead and shoot you the link right quick. Because I definitely, with some of these scriptures right here, I definitely like having folks on that have insight or have some information on some of these things that we don't have. You know, I clearly say all the time, I'm
Right,
just a student. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not here to out teach anybody. You know, we have great teachers in the community. You know, TU Ministries, Dante
right,
Fortune, Thoughts Camera Action, Benai Israel, Mr. Blacktastic, we got Zadok. We got so many good teachers out there that I'm not trying to out teach nobody. That's
right,
just ridiculous.
right,
I'll get waxed, you know what I'm saying? I'm still a student,
right,
you know what I'm saying? I'm cool. I just
right,
like reading this
right.
word,
This
and if
just
something that
fellowship.
we catch, you know what I'm saying? So something that we can catch, you know, we go ahead and bring it on out. But if we have a teacher in the audience that has some really good insight on some things, yeah, I'm cool with that. Come on in, you know. It all really depends though, you know, to a degree. But yeah, if you got Sure enough, appreciate you right there, brother Larry Carnell Bryce. Beautiful blessings.
Right. And just what you call them? We almost just to give a little insight. We almost canceled. We almost canceled because Jacob. We thought Jacob was gone. You know, we thought he was gonna go
Man.
real long tonight. So and we all tuned into that. So it
Oh
was like,
yeah.
how we gonna do a show? We all on the show. You know what I mean?
All right, I went ahead and pushed it back just in case. You know what I'm saying? Because I very
Right.
much appreciate Minister Jacob.
Right. Most definitely.
But yeah, with these scriptures right here, in this part of the Exodus right here, it's like I said, some of the way some of the stuff reads, it didn't feel clean and something like cleanly written to where I can just flow. But we did see a lot of different things going on in this
Yeah.
part of the story. Um, some things that I really would like to have had Jacob on here right about now. Maybe he can help out with making sense out of some of these other things
Right.
right here. Because I know some of
Right.
these things, but I definitely don't know how to tie the strings to all these things. There's some good things to talk about right here. And that's one of the good things I like about Jasher because it exposes like these little hidden nations or these names or these lineages and things like that. And it's good if you know how to, take the notes down on who was who, where was this at, and kind of be able to keep up with how it changed so you can see what they changed in front of you, you know?
Yep. And they definitely had quite a few of cornerstones in this one
Yes, they did.
for identification of people, places, and things that really stood out to me.
Well, go ahead. What you got, sis?
Okay, so my cornerstones are things that they are using in the Bible that they are trying to use today. And I don't know if anybody else caught it, but Charger was in there, Ram was in there, um, and the last one I'm gonna wait till last to talk about that one. But the other thing that I saw was, we talked about how they were, kind of doing their figure eight around this city that wasn't theirs, and they had to pay for everything um, to survive in that land. A lot like what our captivity looks like today. And then I wanted to point out um, how the trap started. We always say, there's nothing new under the sun, but it really um, was laid out to me as you were talking about how they would have these women entice these men, like, or not even just women, their daughters. It wasn't just women, some random people they didn't know. These were their daughters that they set out in front of the doors of their tents to entice these men, like some type of whorehouse. And they would invite them in, and let's go back a little bit further. These men were all under the age of 20 except for one. Okay. These were the only people that were going to end up going in to their own land. And if we go back to Jacoba's teaching, when the Spanish and Rome and all these other entities that were all confederate against us to put us in our captivity, we all thought, looking at roots, that they just took random age groups and all this other kind of stuff, but they didn't. The only way
Right.
that they could
Right.
keep us from remembering anything was to take young people and
Right.
retrain them and regroup them. And they did the same thing in this little bitty snippet right here. They took these 20-year-old men into this tent with these hot women, and they got them drunk and gave them a barbecue. They was in there chilling, playing cards and drinking and having a good old party. And they started to indoctrinate them. oh, you don't have to do all this stuff. You can do this. Why are you listening to this? We're all family. I don't even know why you doing all this other kind of stuff over here. It was a trick, and they were too young and too naive to see the trap that was being laid out for them.
Well,
Um,
you're kind of right and kind of off just a little bit. You might have missed something. So they were
okay,
talking
what now?
doing that census about the men that were 20 years and above, because the ones that were younger, they, we could train them properly. The ones that were
Mhm.
older were the ones that were turning away and committing these whoredoms that you were talking
Right, and they
about,
weren't
though.
going to go into the land.
Right. So
Right,
the Moabites, they the children of Moab, they were setting out their daughters and their wives. You know, I mean, they was on some craziness, pretty much whoring out their daughters and their wives, pretty much to try to get them to co-mingle with them again, and by
right.
pointing out that they're
They
the
were
children of Lot. But
right,
even though they may be the children of Lot, they came about through an unnatural way. And
right.
so once I can't wait to go into the book of Jasher, not the book of Jasher, but the Gad the seer, because there's something in there about about the same kind of conversation to a degree when talking about the Moabites trying to be amongst Yasharal. King David, I don't want to. King David ended up telling this Moabite man, because he ended up praying for him and told him that the Most High doesn't want your men,
Hmm.
doesn't want y'all as a nation. It's like, well, man, I gotta grab that. I gotta grab that. I'm pulling up stuff that I don't have my tools right here next to me, so I probably should be very very careful. But yeah, it's a deep conversation when we get into this stuff right here about pretty much
Okay.
about the Moabites and why we was instructed not to war with them, not to go into their land, and not try to go warring with them to try to take their stuff, because nothing that belongs to them belongs to us.
Right.
I think there's a mercy thing that the Most High was doing for the Moabites on the behalf of Lot, but the scriptures are essentially saying that, okay, y'all were okay, but um, the Most High has an issue with y'all, because of where the children of Moab come from and how they came about to begin with.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But I see what you're saying though, sis, with the
Hmm.
because it's just that I understand what you're saying, because what you're saying is that this was a group of 20 and under going into a place, and it was the same scenario of a group from maybe 20 and under on those boats that came over here. They
Right.
didn't take the old people. You see what I'm saying? And what I see what you were saying. You was not saying it as in the scriptures were saying that those young people and stuff like that. Like, I see the
No,
scenario you were saying.
you had
You
to
was making
kind
a
of pull it out
comparison.
because
Yeah, yeah. You was
right.
making a comparison. You was making a comparison to the slaves that came over here were 20 years old, and that's the same trick they
Hmm.
played on us, getting us drunk and
Yes.
and sexual and
Yes.
stuff like that. And see, if an older group was there, they would have caught the trap. I see what you. I see the
They would have
connection with
caught
that.
it.
Got you.
But see,
You wasn't
they
connecting the whole
separated.
situation. You wasn't correcting.
Yeah,
You
the
wasn't
older
connecting the
people
whole
were over
situation.
here
Yeah.
doing something else.
Got you.
The
Right.
All
I
older
see what
right.
you
people
were
were
saying.
over here doing something else, and these
Yeah.
Moabites couldn't, infiltrate the older people because the older people knew better. But these
Mhm.
younger people, they seeing these young women look. See, these are their daughters, so you know that the daughters
Right. Honey traps.
typically. I mean, we're speculating a little bit, but the fathers sent their daughters, so these young girls were more than likely enticing people about their same age. We know, they married a lot younger and older back then, but typically these are going to be a more weak-minded type of person that is going to be attracted to this form of seduction, for lack of a better word.
Right,
Mm.
right, right,
But I mean, I'm very willing to, this is just what I saw while it was being kind of played out. It's like I could see a trap unfolding in a very similar trap that we have fallen in already, and it's like, dang, we fell for it again. Like, I mean,
yeah,
how
Gotcha.
many times do we have to fall for the same? They doing the same stuff over and over and over again, using the same stuff with subtle little differences, and it's
right. It seems
crazy. And
like,
then the last thing, okay, go ahead.
oh, and I was just about to say, it
I'm
seems
sorry, go
like,
ahead, love.
no, you good, you good. I was just wanted to point out, and you could go. It seems like sex is more like a weapon in the Bible, if you ask me, right? You see
It
what I'm
is.
saying?
It is.
Like, yeah,
Women
it
still
seems
use
like
it
more of a
today as a
weapon.
weapon.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really see it connecting to. I mean, you see it connected to love and having children in a few ways, but most of the time when it's pointed out while we're reading the word, when it's
Hmm.
parenthesized, like I'm not saying nobody was having it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was having sex, but
Right.
when it's parenthesized and it's stressed out upon, these acts usually are a weapon of some sort. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
I
To
kind of
to
thought that was
to
interesting too.
build kingdoms, to divide kingdoms. I mean, even when we were just was it no Yakoba? He was just saying that back in the day, to one of his cornerstones was about how um the Israelites married within their families to keep um, their inheritance and their land. So they would marry within one
Right,
another, nieces, nephews, and all this and all that, so that they could uh, keep what they had. And that was the reason why they didn't marry outside of their people, so that these people couldn't inherit what
right,
belonged to them. So
and that's
by
a
letting other people in, you're letting your
mhm,
inheritance out.
right,
Mm.
and that's a good point because
Yep.
nowadays, because usually that's a real good point because nowadays, all our NBA stars and people of
Oh, say it.
significance, they got the snow bunnies,
Hmm.
so that money not
Like,
coming back
what
to the
was the guy
community.
that died in the helicopter?
That's the same
Or
weapon.
the
That's the same
helicopter?
weapon.
Yeah.
Oh right,
What was his name? The
Colby.
basketball.
Kobe.
Yes, a
Colby.
white woman end up with all his, you know what I'm saying? And then
Right,
the mother is fighting her over all the stuff. Michael Jackson, when he died, three white kids got all his money
right,
because he said they was his. He
right. And we
legally
could we could keep
adopted
going.
these
We could
children.
we could go down there. We could go
We
down that.
could all day.
And we could go all day with that.
Mm.
But you're right. You're absolutely right. You pointed that out. Yeah, that's absolutely right. What I really kind of saw though with all this, what I caught from the reading, um, I kept thinking about um when the Most High said that He was going to deal with the rebels in the wilderness, like even from the separation of the old people and the young people, and then the separation of just what I'm saying, people that just had little faith, and then the separation of um the cats that didn't do right, the cats that didn't do how it was supposed to go, and they had to get burnt, and like I'm like so because we get a lot of information about our second Exodus from the first Exodus. And it's kind of funny that our Exodus has a wilderness part to it too. So I couldn't help but to think, like, just to throw the question out there, like, is this what our wilderness is gonna be like? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. Because that's what I kept thinking while I was hearing the Korahs. When I kept hearing the story about Korah, the Korah story when the ground came and swallowed them up. You know what I mean? Because they wanted to
Yeah.
be divided up against, like who goes against Moses? Moses is talking to the Most High on a mountain. Who goes against Moses? Like, and it kind of makes me think about our Exodus. Like, we are saying, you know what I'm saying, like that kind of makes me just want to go, you know, like scream it out to the world, like, and scream it out to our people and kind of get our people like, look, you need to get on track now. You need to believe in the Most High now. You need to know who you are now, because, you know, we can't go into the Exodus and then go into the wilderness and then y'all fools make a stamp, I mean, make a statue of an onk, you know what I'm saying, and get dealt with. You know what I mean? Like, you see where I'm going there, brother?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
that's
but
kind of where,
we know it's gonna happen. I don't remember the story, the poor man that was on the ground and the king that just walked past him and all this, and the king ended up going down to hell, and he was able to return back, and he was like, well, just let me tell my family members what's in store for them, and then maybe they'll change their mind and they won't do these kind of things.
Are you talking about
And
like the Lazarus
something to
story
the,
to a degree?
yeah, yeah. So to, he, in so many words, he was like, no, we try to tell you, you didn't listen. No matter what we say, they're not going to listen. They have to, just like with our children, we're God's children. And just like with our own children, we tell them to do something or try to veer them down a certain path because we see the danger ahead, but they don't listen. And they rebel against us just like we rebel against the Father. And I've been thinking a lot about that lately, about the relationship that I have with God and the relationship that I have with my children. I'm just a disobedient child with a heavenly father instead of an earthly father. And just like it's hard for kids to grow up without an actual father, it's hard to grow up without your father here. You know what I'm saying? So we're just going through the same, traumas, and hopefully, you know, we learn from them. But the way we learn, unfortunately, is a lot of times from bumping our heads up against those walls, from experiencing those traumas, saying, oh, the fire is really hot, so don't touch the flame. And, you know, I don't know about y'all, but there's just some things that I'm not going to do. I've already bumped my head up against that wall. I don't need to do it again.
Well,
right, right,
another thing that we're getting definitely from these scriptures right here is just like I say all the time about healing our hoods and things like that. Well, these are laws, statutes, and commandments that we're seeing in some of these scriptures right now as well. Like we saw we
right,
saw the quick part from Leviticus about the burnt offerings, the barbecue instructions. You know what I'm saying? The barbecue
Mm-hmm.
instructions for repentance. You know what I'm saying? These things. We saw that
right,
right there. And then we got a chance to see um, the punishment of dwelling in the wilderness for 40 years before they got a chance to come to the land. So that way that wicked generation got weeded out. So what I've been saying about healing our hoods and healing our households is the same thing that like I've been saying about like I got to do. I have 4 boys, 1 girl, and I'm trying to get my sons and my daughter to take this stuff serious because if they don't, they're what I'm saying. This right here is what we're seeing the repercussions of not getting right, not being able to come into the land because of the wickedness
right,
that they're either being taught or that they're constantly dealing with or dwelling with or enacting in life. If they don't repent and change their ways, it's going to be all bad for them. So we're also seeing how the Most High he's not playing right in these scriptures right here. He is not playing
right,
when it talks about what he expects of his nation, of his people that are going to be his inheritance. He is not playing when it comes to how he wants that nation to be. So I mean, this is why we got to take these things just a little bit more serious, or a lot of more serious, and breaking some of these things down to our children and our family members. But it does I guess the real big difference is in our delivery, you know, and that's one of the things that I do struggle with because I get passionate. And I get overly passionate sometimes, and it's because I love my people so
Me too.
much that
Me
I,
too.
you know. And I was talking to my dude Big Jube from back home today, and we got to talking about it, and he made some good points. You know what I'm saying? As far as like um, when I came into my first bit of obedience and trying to, you know, please the Most High, you know, I would constantly jump in on all these different posts and things like that, trying to correct people all the time. And I'm like, well, hold on, I do kind of need to, you know, hold back on some of this stuff just a little bit, only because how we bring people into this awakening, it does make a difference on their obedience, on how they're going to take they take this seed and allow it to grow within inside them. Um, and what my dude was saying that where I was going wrong at is I was kind of pushing too hard at one point, and I could see that, and it's because I'm so passionate about my people. I realized the lies that have been told to us, and I'm not going for it. I'm not going for it no more. And I mean, it's a fine line. It really is. It really is a fine line of how to witness this word without pushing so hard that we push people away. So go ahead.
I don't know. I think like everything, certain people need to hear a certain thing a certain way, and we're planting seeds. Some people are planting seeds. Some people are fertilizing the soil. Some people are watering the soil. Some people are um, shedding light on the soil to make the plant, the seed grow. So everybody just has to play their part, and you have to be, confident in your role that the Most High is giving you to play. And sometimes we finagle with it. We try to get more secure in our own personalities and our own knowledge of the word, and like we're doing now. This is my attempted, trying to be more knowledgeable, um, understanding, not for anybody else's sake, but for my own. I need to search out these scriptures and see what we are repeating to me to see the correlations between then and now, so that I can understand my enemy, so to speak, to see in a way what's coming next. What I don't like to be caught off guard. So if I can, you know, see into the past to see into my future, wow, what a gift. I mean, we always talk about we don't know what the future has for us. Well, if there is nothing new under the sun, then by golly, read the book so you can know how it ends. So
Mm-hmm.
that's
Right.
just where I'm at with that.
Right.
Yeah, and I noticed
Right.
that
Now,
one go ahead
okay.
though, bro. Go ahead.
Oh, no, okay. Well, I was just gonna say, cause I always say that I'm not a teacher, but I'm more of a soldier. I'm more of a witness. Now I'm a kind of professional witness, big bro, and like you, I get passionate. You know what I mean? But I only get passionate like that because sometimes, and in a way, how sis said, in a way, watering sometimes is cool. Um, Fertilizing is cool sometimes, but
Hmm.
sometimes, like with me, I know I had to get my bad fruit plucked up first. You see what I'm saying? I knew I
Sometimes
had
you
to
got to
get the
scorch
bad
the
fruit.
soil before
Yeah,
you can see it.
sometimes you just gotta. Yeah, sometimes because see, with me, for anything for you, to even water if you was watering me, you was watering a bad seed in me. You know what I mean? Before I got my awakening. You know what I'm saying? Before I had my awakening, You know, I was there. I had a bad seed. I was growing bad fruit, and watering me, putting money into me, investing in me was investing in bad. So when I approach certain people, sometimes I gotta know where to. You gotta go in operation, and you gotta know where to say, "Hey, am I gonna water this, or am I gonna pull this up?" Because I know for me, I had to get pulled up. I had to get pulled up because Pastor Darby, he has and anybody that listens to Pastor Darby knows that he say that all the time. I don't care. That's how he used to talk. That's how he used to preach. He was one of those people that pulled up roots. He didn't. But I needed that. Any pastor that would have talked to me proper and nice and stuff like that, I wouldn't have believed them. I wouldn't have believed them. I wouldn't have listened to them twice. But pastors, sometimes people need that hard, stern, I'm in your face and I done been through what, and then when they could show you the scars that I done been through, and that was one of the things that I had relationship with, kind of with Pastor, because Pastor Darb, I never met that man in my life. I never met that man, but he did something that no preacher in my whole community, in my whole state, could have done for me. You know, he had me crying in the Magnolia Projects, like like because he came to me with that tough talking. He showed me the scars because he used to say it all the time. I used to sell drugs. He used to say that in his sermons. He used to say that. I used to sell drugs. And that related to me. And when I looked at that man and seen how much truth he was spewing and how much, and he didn't care if he would cut me up from bottom to top every day. And I didn't know what and the thing about it is, people need that because even though he was cutting me up, cutting my whole life up every time, I would go back and listen to the videos that he cut me. So that means I like
Mm,
the cutting.
mm,
At some point, I like the cutting. You see what I'm saying? So with some people, you have to bring that passion to them because if you don't cut them, they not gonna come back, or they not even going. Anybody else, you know what I'm saying? I could be honest, like we be transparent. The church in my neighborhood, we had a pork chop pastor, and I used to sell drugs right in back of the church. He had no effect
mm,
on me. But the preacher that was all the way on YouTube in Kentucky. I live in Louisiana. I'm from Louisiana. The preacher that was in Kentucky told me about my gangsterism and snatched it out of me. You know what I mean? Like,
mm,
so in a sense, sometimes you have to pluck up. You have to, if it's a bad seed, then you gotta pull it up. We gotta pull it up, we gotta tread it down, we gotta turn the ground over, flip it over, make sure it's good, and let's plant the seed right.
mm,
You know what I mean? And I take that same approach, especially with the youth. I take that with the youth, with the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, with grown people, I know which way they're going or which way they ain't going. You know what I'm saying? I know what they're trying to hear
mm,
and what they from the first conversation. But with kids, I take that type of approach because if they got that bad seed that I had, I know to snatch that. I'm gonna snatch that up from you. I'm gonna show you that it's not right. Because especially with young boys, because I have two daughters that I'm raising up to be, you know what I'm saying, future queens. They gonna have to marry one of these gangsterized little fools. You know what I'm saying? They
mm,
gonna have to. That could be my daughter's husband that I'm sitting there talking to. So if I'm ministering to a little kid, if I'm trying to witness, tell him who he is. If I see his pants sagging, boy, pick your pants up. That's how I'm coming at you. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm
mm.
coming. You gotta snatch the root out sometime. You know.
Hallelujah. Definitely. Definitely. That's good testimony right there. That's fire testimony right
It
there. I
is.
love
Thank
that.
you for sharing.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, bro.
All praise to the Most High. It's not
All
me.
praises
It's
to the
not me.
Most
It's
High.
all praise to the Most High.
Now, the last
Uh,
thing I wanted to point out
thanks for tuning in,
was
Joshua. 1 and 7. Definitely appreciate you tuning in. Go ahead, sis.
last thing I wanted to point
Oh,
out
that Joshua little
was
one
a
seven, Joshua 1-7. That's my little brother. That's my actual blood little brother.
That's what's
hi
happening.
brother, how
Joshua
you
1-7.
doing?
Shalom, Mike. Go ahead, sis.
So the last thing I wanted to point out was a people by the name of AI. AI,
Hmm.
artificial intelligence. The person that founded artificial intelligence was a gentleman by the name of John McCarthy. Just Google this, just so you know. An Irish Jewish immigrant by the name of John McCarthy. And it just baffled me why we always see, I am always seeing these names. Like I said before, a Charger, Ram, these are names of cars. Okay. We see Tablet, we see Alabama, we see Chevron, we're seeing all these names that we don't own these companies. These are major multi-billion trillion dollar companies, and all of their names are found in the Bible. Coincidence? Probably not.
Think not.
What's that?
I said, I think not.
Right? So AI is in here. This is a people. It's not a car. It's not a gas station. AI
I
is
hope
a
I caught that.
name of a people that they're using now as a people of artificial intelligence. A type of people. These people are robots, technology. Now we're seeing, this stuff about, implanting memories into, um, you know, things that look like people. So I just, I just want to see how the story of these people called the AI just really kind of play out, and that's that.
That is pretty wild, though. I have picked up
Right.
on a lot of these names, the same some of the similarities in what you're talking about. Yes, Miss B saying it's
Hmm.
all connected. Sure enough, in some way, shape, or form.
I
That's why
believe
they
so,
keep regurgitating or um, reusing these names and bringing them up in different ways, shapes, or forms. So yeah, I believe they're all connected in some way as well. Um, yeah.
brother. Brother, I can ask you this since we on this question, because
Hmm.
I remember I think Minister Dante was teaching on this at one point. It was in some of his earlier messages because I be going all the way to the back with stuff sometimes. But I think he said something. He did a study on, and he was doing a study on Nephilim and stuff like that, and how he wrote that book, as in the days of Noah. So he did a lot of study on that, and I remember him mentioning something about Nike being a spirit.
Yeah, the
I don't know
Nike is
how
supposed to
what you
be the
call them.
Greek goddess of
Yeah, but
victory.
right. So Sister Sharita, they do use that type of stuff. They do stuff like that. Name it a brand or something, and it come from somewhere else. You got to find out where it comes from. Yeah,
Right.
Mr.
And
Diamond,
I
but
and I and
I
I
can't
think it's
I
their
can't
way of
explain it
giving
as
us
good as he did,
Oh
but
man,
he did
yeah,
a
he went
real
in.
good study on that.
I
He
think it's
went in.
a way for them to bring their heritage or culture or spirits or a combination of the two and put it right in front of our face. I mean, we have been, y'all. For all y'all that don't know, I don't. I am baffled as to how blind we were.
Right.
It amazes me every single day. At least twice a day, I say they lied about everything. The
Yes, they
time
did.
of day ain't even right.
Hmm.
And sometimes it pains me that I tricked because I fancy myself, you know, a street smart, savvy, kind of chick. And you just can't put anything over on me. But I was duped, bamboozled, led astray, and it hurts. And when God said that He would make us angry and lead us to jealousy and wrath, He was right. It
Mm-hmm.
hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts so bad that I just, what did we do so bad to you? And whatever it is, God, forgive us. Forgive my ancestors for doing it.
Mm.
Because
Hallelujah.
this, nobody, nobody should be treated like this for 400 years, year after year, day after day. You lie to them, you trick them. We we are willingly being slaves at this point. And right
Yeah.
now we're even as we've awakened, we're willingly being slaves because we don't know what else to do. We don't know how to get out of the rut that we've gotten ourselves into. We try to pull away, but this system just keeps pulling us back in. And when I think about everything that's going on, only the Most High can get us out of this. When I was out there doing all that protesting, I just really thought I could change the world, but we can't. We are minuscule in the idea, the plan, the deception of a world, a whole world conspired against a people to make them look foolish in the eyes of God, to make us a dirty rag for the Most High. A whole world. It hurts. It really hurts. I'm shut my mouth now, y'all. I'm done.
Oh, you good. You good. Cause
Yeah.
that's all we
Yeah. You good?
that's
Yeah. I
all
feel the
facts.
same way.
That's all facts, sis.
Yeah. Yeah. But he did say, what did he say? He said that we would be conquered or go into captive by a foolish nation.
Mm-hmm.
When we sit there and think about it, like now that our eyes is open, we be like, man, how did we fall for this? We be like, how did we fall for this here? Once the Most High reveals His
You know,
truth
it's an
to
okie
us,
doke if there
we be
ever was
looking at
one.
those. Yeah, we be looking like now. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. Like, and y'all, I know y'all gonna probably think what y'all want to think about Harry, cause I'm from the South, and I kind of say things like I be looking at them folk like they clowns now. I ain't gonna lie, like real talk. Because but that goes what he said, a foolish nation. Because I look at it like, but you gotta understand that at one point I believed everything that and I always had a problem with the system as coming up as a kid. I always knew that this American dream thing wasn't real like that. You know what I mean? Because I lived in the hood and I knew that's just not how that worked. You know what I mean? I never saw families like, you know what I'm saying, like on TV. So I knew that was a lie. But as for like taking certain steps in the American dream, I actually fell for that. But now I look at these people and when I look at these people and I look at the way they push stuff, like even with the lollipops. Yeah, that's how they
Mm-hmm.
say it. That's how they say it. That's the right word, right? Lollipops.
Yeah.
Yep.
Even with the lollipops, I look at it and I say, this is so foolish. Like, how we, like, I'm
How could
awakened
you fall
now,
for
and
this?
most of us are. But yeah, exactly, exactly. I'll be like, y'all, you know, um, this country has never given anything that made money or that was of any importance for free. For free. You
But now
still
they
gotta
Especially when
giving
they
pay
give
for
away
lollipops out for
donuts
free.
and
yeah,
drugs.
you still gotta pay for Tylenol, man. I think if they would, I think Me personally, I think if they would have charged $5 for it, maybe I'd have thought about it. But for free,
Nah, I'm cool still,
nah, cause
regardless. I'm cool still,
nah,
regardless. You know,
yeah,
no.
no. But you see what I'm saying? Like that's how foolish it is. Like for free. Like
I I, I
people,
think Shawana
people put their
Shea.
house up. People put their
Mm,
house up for chemo. And y'all giving this out
mm,
for free? Y'all can't get me. You know what I mean? Like
oh.
y'all can't.
Yes, you can definitely
It's
smell the desperation. And Shawana Shea said it in a
yeah,
live earlier today.
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, I like she said it was they was called push pops.
Yeah.
She had me dying.
Hey, that's a better one for pops.
Push pops. I was like, yeah, I'm with it.
See, right here.
Yeah, yeah,
This right here, like this, everything that we talking about right now, it is definitely tied into the Exodus. It's definitely tied to our second Exodus. It's definitely tied to how the Most High is going to deal with the riffraff of all of us in this wilderness time period right now. And I think that's the time period that we're in right now. Um, right after the 400 years was commemorated, I really do believe that we are in a bit of a wilderness slash tribulation period where the Most High is preparing the land
I agree.
back home and here and all the way abroad. And those of us
yes.
that are not on point with what He's trying to do, we will be dealt with here and once
Yeah,
we get home. I mean, we got more scriptures to go through to
yeah.
where, you know, we're seeing in this whole Exodus process, even the first one, and even some hints on how the Most High is going to deal with us again. And just like just the scripture that was just right here, touch not, right here. Wherefore come out from among them and be ye separate, saith Yahuwah, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. All right. And so just like we just got to seeing a little bit ago, a great grandchild of Yehuda had, or Achan, the great grandchild of Yehuda had taken an unclean thing from one of the cities of Sihon, I think it was. And yeah, he had taken unclean property that he was told not to take. And that right there was a curse that got put on all of us because of one person. And it wasn't until after Acon and
One person.
everything belonging to him got gathered up and burned to where the Most High went ahead and stopped being mad at all of us over something that one of us had done wrong. So whether one member suffer or
Right.
all members suffer, whether one, so it's like, man, he is not playing with
And,
how he wants his
and
nation.
and speaking of that name, Akon, we have a famous person by that name, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
what his mother
Right.
named
I was about.
him or he took on that name. If his mother named him that, did she do the research? And if he named himself, did he do the research? And this is the very same person that's trying to build some city over there in Africa and call it Wakanda or something of that nature, but he's
Yeah,
backed by a whole
yeah,
bunch of other people that are not us.
Yep. There's that
yeah.
part too.
You stole it right out of my mouth, sis.
I'm
Because
sorry, I'll put it back. Hold on, you can have it.
I don't. No, no. It's all good. It's all good because I don't know if anybody in the chat or everybody, but I know I'm real hard. I rocks with Ashonda at large, and she did a real good study. She chopped into that part right there about that Akon part. She did a real
I didn't see
good
that.
study on that. Yeah, yeah. I don't know the name of the video. I forget the name. I watch her every time she go live, but she did a real good study on that. Ashonda at large. She went in on that city about Acon, and she pulled up that scripture because in that city is a lot of comedic stuff that he's trying to build. Is a lot of funny unk like shaped stuff going on with his architecture.
And I agree.
But she did a real
Right
good study
there.
on that.
Yeah. Yeah. You and Sister Shauna Shea, yeah, she talking about it right there. That's the ugliest city I've ever seen. Yeah. I mean, some of the construction looks a little, I don't know, for certain buildings, but the majority of it, no, no, no. And then they're supposed to
But if you
have an Ankh statue and a
Yeah.
and an eye statue and all kinds of different,
Yeah. Yeah.
different
Yeah.
constructionary
Exactly.
things that are just no, no, we ain't doing that. We don't do those
But it was so
things.
many people that when that came out, they were like, yeah, that's where we all need to go. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to trade one prison for another one. Give me my money and I can build any city I want to, wherever I want to. Let me go without, charging me an arm and know, arm and a leg to get there, where when I get there I'm just as destitute or even worse off than I was after I worked here for 40 years. You know? Y'all, I didn't realize how bad I was into this slavery. We have all been working and we're all think we're working for that American dream. And I don't know about you guys, but I live and work in a right to work state, meaning they call it an at will state. They can fire me at any time they want to. So all year long, I'm trying to keep a job. Our grandparents and great grandparents had jobs for 40 years and they retired, and from Lilly and the car dealerships. I can't even remember their names right now, but and they had retirement until the day they died, and their husbands and their wives got the retirement after they died. There's no more of that. Not for people like us. Yeah, you might those Fortune 500 companies may have all that good stuff, but for the people that really work every day, no.
Right.
Oh yeah, that at will stuff that's been on applications for a long time. And Sister Lynn Bernard said, yeah, it's like that in Florida too. And so, in Florida's a Commonwealth state, just like Kentucky, Pennsylvania, Virginia, a couple other Commonwealth states out there. But Ohio is an at will state too, because it's been like that on our applications for ever since I can remember. And that's been on just about every application that I've ever seen anywhere. It's in the fine print that you can be let go for any reason. So they've been sneaking that stuff back in to where they can just fire you for nothing.
Yeah. And I never understood, wow, they can hand me an application that I sign and I have to live up to. I can't just hand them another one with a set of work standards and conditions as well. They get to make up all the rules, all of them. The first time I really felt like I was a slave, in hindsight 2020, is working for Amazon.
I put that back
Um,
up. I'll put that back up. Yeah, this nation is a dunghill, never coming back. They ain't saying how
ain't
bad
that it?
things really are in reality. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Um,
Right.
and
Oh,
and lately I have been think
Bird. Sorry.
Yeah.
lately I've been thinking about how that place was built in the inside. And if I really think about it, it's built kind of like a pyramid. It's got all these different levels inside of what should be just a one-story warehouse. There's 3 or 4 different floors depending where you go inside this place. And all they want you to do is work, 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 and work faster. They have somebody come behind you. You're supposed to get so many picks every hour. Oh, you're not working enough. Let me show you how you can do it faster. Faster, 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 faster. And God knows how bad it is during coronavirus.
Mm.
I mean, the orders have to definitely quadrupled since usually their biggest season is during peak holidays, but since the CVs happen, I'm sure peak is every day.
That's what they try to make it. Probably. I can only
Mm-hmm.
imagine what it's like working at any one of those Amazon facilities right now, any of the shipping and receiving facilities right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. all this was super, 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 super good. I really don't have much of anything else except for what pretty much a repeat of what we already been talking about, the importance of coming back to the Most High, and we've gotten some of these scriptures given to us in here. Like I just pulled back up earlier, this is something that super super important right here. We gotta really get this into ingrained. This type of understanding is the healing. Is yeah, being set apart and not touching the unclean things of this nation, separating ourselves from it, getting on our families away from these unclean behaviors and different things, and repenting for our sins and the iniquities of our forefathers. I would definitely ask anybody and everybody to, if you don't know what the iniquities of your forefathers are, ask the Most High. Pray to be given the understanding of what that was or what that is, so that way you know exactly what it is you're praying for the forgiveness of. Because there's different iniquities that have been popping up, for me, randomly. Like man, yeah,
Yes,
I'll go ahead and say it.
I do.
I'll go ahead and say it. Like, I'm sorry, I'm starting to really get a feeling that this mixing thing has really done a number on us because of the way that our nations operate are two separate ways. The law of the Most High is pretty specific, and when you start mixing with other nations, you start, just like that was that good study from TCA, Strange Husbands and Strange Wives. And I think that was really, really powerful and much needed. And I think we probably should go back over that again. I don't want to go ahead. Man, that was a long study. It was like almost a 4-hour study. But I think that everybody should go back over that study in their own independent time, because the mixings, when you start doing these things, you start submitting to another nation and another people's ways. You have these these complexities, whether it be um, you caving in for them or them caving in for you, to where you're not really as happy as you should be, because you've compromised. That's the word I was looking for: compromises, not complexities, compromises. These compromises, these spiritual compromises that come about, and they take us away from who we're supposed to be. Um, and us as a nation, one of the whoredoms of my forefathers has been mixing with other nations and watering down the seed. And so um, I've started to take notice of some of these things. And these are some of the iniquities that I'm praying, for the forgiveness of my forefathers. There's plenty more, that, I haven't spoken of, different verbal abuses, physical abuses, um, idolatry, coveting money, coveting possessions. I mean, there's all kinds of different iniquities that my forefathers are guilty of that I've been asking the Most High to forgive us for. Because I've noticed these things from the past of my father and some of my other family members and things, that's where I'm seeing it. And then some of the other things that I'm seeing is just coming up out of nowhere. Like I'll be paying attention to some of our teachers and the way they speak about our punishments, and when some of these punishments come about, and just like in reading in some of these scriptures right here, the whoredoms of that lusting of the flesh, that they were falling for from the children of Moab, stuff like that. I mean, these are strongholds that we got to get out of our nation. We gotta pray these things out, and we got to get these whoredoms out of our nation. Um, but yeah, that's just what I see. Some of the things that I'm definitely kind of going through, just kind of make everything hit home, and to keep this ideology going of healing our hoods and healing our households. You know,
Another one I have been praying on is fearing man and not the Most High. I think about back to all these slave movies that are designed to make us compliant, put us in a vibration where we're sad and angry and fearful to lash out. Um, and and I think back to this story, this scripture we just read. Fear is a MFer. Fear conquered countries and cities. They just heard things and they were willing to lay down everything and give up because their mind was playing tricks on them. And it was no different for our people when we came here. They played these tricks on us visually, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And we feared so much for our children's lives and our own lives that we went along to get along. We we allowed ourselves to be raped, our men to be raped, our children to be taken away from us, all we um, because we feared what man could do to us and not fear what God was going to do to us. We coveted our own life more than we coveted the life of our people because the thing that the thing that they did wrong didn't just affect them. The thing affected me and it affected my daughter and your daughters and your sons. And the things that we do today when we decide I'm going to fear man instead of fear the most high or do what I know is right instead of what these folks are telling me is right, like these push pops and all this other nonsense they got going on out here. It's just so numerous to count. And we don't want to get aroused, shut down for talking about too much stuff, but y'all know what I'm talking about. If we continue to have that fear in them and what they could do, all these FEMA camps, they gonna do this, and I can't be scared about that. Nope. Come with it. Whatever you're gonna do your worst. Because I'm not participating in what I know is wrong. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. Fear is, you know, I'd hate to keep talking Pastor Darby talk to y'all, but Pastor Darby did a sermon on fear, and he kind of let me, we don't really understand. He kind of showed me how much I never understood fear, and I think as a whole, or just not even just us as a people, people don't understand fear. Fear is something that pops up. It pops up right at the edge of when you're about to when you're about to have a breakthrough. You see, when you're about to have a breakthrough somewhere, fear always is gonna plot itself there. And what I've learned to do through the Most High is fear is always a signal to me that I know that something's on the other side. But you see, what they've been doing to our people this whole time is just putting fear and then they stop. You see what I'm saying? And then they stop. But when we read these books in Jasher, they never stop that fear. That's when you get these famous I'm gonna say famous, but these good quotes by Yehuda, Judah, saying, and Jacob, and these, when fear was put at the thing, was put right there. Fear is, you're supposed to meet fear with faith. And faith, and when every time that popped up in the book as we were reading, They never stopped that fear. When fear came, they was outnumbered. You know, Judah come out there and say, "Hey, we not I mean, why should we be fear of the most? Why should we fear if the Most High is on our side?" You know,
Yep.
and that was the breakthrough that they needed to go ahead, and then they tore up everything else after that. You know, but we've we've been put in this situation to where we always stop at the fear. But if you have the Most High, if we understood our Most High, we understood the Elohim that we serve, like they understood him, then we would walk on the promise. We would we would weaponize our faith against fear. But I mean, but I totally understand. Yes, they control us with fear.
And you said it right, just perfectly too. You meet, fear with faith. That was that. Can't nobody, man. That was on point. That's 100
That's
right
not
there.
me, brother. I promise it's not
That's
me,
Holy
brother.
Spirit right there.
Yeah. When the
Yeah.
word is around the Most High, all praise to the Most High. It shows up, man. But we're all learning. I'm not no preacher, y'all. I'm not no teacher. I tell y'all that. I'm learning just like y'all. This is good fellowship. This is why we did this, because see, I wouldn't even say stuff like that if Sister Sharita wasn't bringing up this conversation and you wasn't bringing up this conversation. This is why, when we first got on the phone, we sat on the phone for about 4 5 hours.
Yes, put it on the shirt. Meet fear with faith. Roz, real
Right,
quick
right.
before I want to ask you to read us the prayer. I don't know it word for word. I think I used to, but although I walk through the shadow of the valley of death, I fear it's is what's the name of that prayer?
Let me go ahead and pull that on up.
Is it the Lord's Prayer?
No, that's Psalm 23 and 4.
Yeah,
Okay.
I knew it was a song.
Yep. So we're gonna go ahead and pull that on up.
And we need that prayer. We need that prayer there.
Yeah.
Right there. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. And then let's go to the full.
Isn't there a but there's a bunch more to that,
Yeah,
isn't
right
there?
here. Yeah, right
Okay.
here. So the Psalm of David. Yahuwah is my shepherd; I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the path of righteousness, for he is for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. I will dwell in the house of Yahuwah forever. Amen.
Hallelujah. That's so powerful. And when I sit there and think, when I read Psalms, you know, I can't help but to think, man, David was dropping bars, man. Like I don't know, I
Mhm.
don't know if y'all feel the same way.
Oh yeah.
I think Psalms is
Like
a real
every time I
comforter.
read Psalms,
It's always something in there that comforts you, that reassures you about what's going on in your life. It's never failed me, not once.
yeah,
Yeah, I had to
David
look that
didn't
up.
play.
No, he did not.
He didn't play. Hey, we got to read about David too, man. That's one of my, I wouldn't say favorite, but that's one of my. I have a special I have a special connection when I'm reading the story of David and stuff, especially when he came back and he was dancing. Like I could relate to that. Like it's everything about, you know what I'm saying. Like thing about the word is good. I be telling people all the time that, man, stop watching Love and Hip Hop. Man, the Bible got more juice than all that, man. Like for
Man,
real.
all them desperate household shows.
Right. But I mean, but if y'all interested in that type of stuff, why not get some wisdom with it? Because the Bible got all that,
Yeah.
but not that,
Oh,
not
because
that.
there's some
But I'm
desperate
saying
ones
it's
in
like,
there too.
Right. And see, back when I was with my
right,
ex
you
and all
know,
that stuff, she used to watch all them desperate households of Atlanta and Orange County, and that's what I call them. You know what I'm saying? The housewives of this, that, and the third. I call them the desperate households of this, that, and the third, wherever they talking about they from, because it's
right.
ridiculous, man. They I gotta check myself right quick because I was about to go ahead and get let my. I was about to go ahead and give it, boy. I'm trying to
Hey, I'm
tell
a father too. I be getting that way too. I just be like, oh, you know what I mean?
you.
Like
Yeah.
I just can't. I can't stand it when I look at it because when you have children and you think about your child, even like when my daughter goes places and they have stuff like that on, I just be like, I can't. You know what I'm saying? Like I really like. It's just like the thought of that trying to get on my daughter is just like I get like you about to get. You know what I mean? Like, I get a little
Yeah,
belligerent.
yeah. I'm just so sick and tired of the whole everything that's the whole plot against our people and how it's played out on
Yeah.
both sides.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
on both
saying? Like
sides.
on how it's been destroying our young men from being men and how it's destroying our young women from being wives. And so
Right.
that's where my whole frustration comes from, and where my it's not really my flesh is about to get come out, is it's my spirit man jumping up and down and fixing to just go ahead and go
It's a
go
righteous
all
anger.
Okay.
I know what
yeah,
you're
just
saying.
go all kind, bring down
But
all kinds of fire on some stuff, because I'm serious. It just bothers me. Go ahead,
you're
bro.
not the only one. I was about to come out of my skin the other day listening to this Canadian man talk about they was going to put him in jail because he would not refer to his daughter, his biological daughter, as a boy, would not use male pronouns. This man is going to be locked up. He's being forced to give his daughter hormone pills at 14 years old so that she can
So they
grow up
locked him up.
to be a man. Yeah, I mean he has a they took him to court. I guess he spent a few days in jail to think about what's going on. And he has a active he has to raise his daughter. He's separated from his wife. He has to raise his daughter, and he has a restraining order against him not to use the word her, hers, any female pronouns. He has to encourage her to continue to be a boy, even though he knows
Dang,
Blasphemous,
biologically she is not.
blasphemous. It's just
that's crazy. Talk about protect your kids from Babylon, man. Oh man,
And they
that
threatening to
is.
lock him up, and they don't see anything wrong. Okay, I don't know about y'all, okay, but I have done some things. Oh, I have done some things. On a better day, I'll go into them, I'm sure. And I have changed my mind. And luckily, I was still alive, still in my right mind to be able to make a mistake and be able to learn from those mistakes and still go on with my life normally. This young girl is going to wake up one day and realize that she is not a man and there is nothing that she can truly do to become a man. And she is going to want to become a woman again. And she is only going to be a woman in the fact that she was biologically once upon a time a woman. But because at 14 she is going through puberty, it stopped her period. It's going to make her hair grow in places it's not supposed to for a woman. They're talking about it causes bone density problems. All kinds of stuff is going to be wrong with this girl. But she thinks at 14
Yeah,
that she is a man. At 14, I thought I was going to be the president of the United States. It didn't happen. I thought I was going to be an actress on television. That didn't happen. I changed my mind. Not that it just didn't happen. I was no longer interested in it. My daughter wanted to be, what is her name? Serena Williams. It didn't happen that way. But she was able to live from it, grow from it, move on. Y'all, if nothing
man,
showed me
that is
that weekend.
crazy.
Yeah, that's
That's crazy. And then, I'm glad y'all brought this up. Me and my little brother was having a conversation about a week ago because he had brought up how I don't know about because I ain't gonna say it. The president, okay though, but how he passed that thing about the sports and the women's and the trans and stuff like that could
Oh,
play in the
oh,
men's sports and
yes.
the other trans could play in the men's sports and stuff like that. Well, me and my little brother, he was pretty much joking about it though, but I think this is I mean that's pretty sad, but this is not the end of it. They about to find out for real now because you see the trans lady that or the trans I don't know what to call it the person that
Man,
ran against the women's that man that ran and beat all them women in the Olympics. Oh, it's about to get more crazier. They think they mad about that. Wait till UFC and stuff come out. Oh, it's gonna be some stuff, man. Like
but
this
but
like
do you
I think Shauna Shea just put yeah, this place is going straight down, man. Like
yeah.
if they start putting some of these girls up against some of these men, they gonna find out that they is not, you know what I mean? Like they gonna find out they not a man. And this is where the blurring the lines is going to fall. It's going to fall, and then you're gonna have all the men dudes gonna be saying, "Hey, I'm not good enough to be." And see the killing part about the man that beat all them girls in the Olympics, he wouldn't have stood a chance if he was running with the men.
not a
You see what I'm
chance.
saying? He wouldn't have stood a chance. He wouldn't have stood a chance against Usain Bolt. You know what I mean? But this is the foolishness that Babylon is really just coming up with. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be some stuff,
And
man. I don't think we see. I mean, that's a crazy story, but I don't think we've seen the end of these type of stories.
we haven't. There's a 51-year-old man on a girls basketball team. I guess this is college basketball, I think. So these are pretty much teenage girls. They're still, eight, some of them 17, 18, 19 years old, okay? This dude is like Goliath compared to them, even sitting in a chair. Okay. And you should see the faces of these girls with this during these pictures. They try not to, be, insensitive, but it's like they like this big old man. I gotta change in the locker room with this person. These are teenage girls that you're exposing them to. There is no way. I don't care how old my daughter was. She on this. I'm not paying for this college. You're gonna pay for it by yourself, or you gonna come on home. I
Mhm.
don't. I don't see. I don't see what they're doing is making it easier for predators to get to our children. It's no.
Yeah,
There's no
it
line
really
here.
is. I mean,
I th-
yeah, because TikTok. I remember when TikTok came out. I thought TikTok was for children, and now shoot, My little girl has all types. She has to ask permission, like send like a little digital permission for everything on the phone. Everything that she has on her
Hmm.
iPad, it gotta come through. She can't even open up internet when she every time she clicks internet browser, we get a me and my wife get a request, and depending on where she's trying to go, we'll hit accept or deny. Because it's like, man, it's crazy, man. These, just like you say, they're making it so easy for these predators to just, you know, and
What
oh
software are you
man, look,
using just for
I ain't having it. I ain't having it, huh?
what software are
Hello.
you using for that? Just, to know. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Hello?
I would have to probably get it from out. Yeah, you can y'all hear me? I thought I started breaking up
Okay.
a little bit. You can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would have to get it from my
Yes.
wife. I'm not sure exactly the
Okay.
thing. She's the geek of the family. AKA.
Okay.
Let me see here. I do have this song though. I'll go ahead. I'm trying to see if I have this song that Essential Growth was asking me to play, and I know I have some songs by original or by original royalty, but I only have like two of them.
Shauna say, hide your kids, hide your wives.
Yeah, I've been seeing her post that a couple times lately. Hide your kids, hide your wives.
Yeah, this
Yeah, it's going
yeah, it's
bad out. It's
getting
getting
it's getting crazier by the day. Does anybody
Yeah,
else feel like it's just ramping up, or is it just because we woke up? I mean, it just
man. I
really
think all of it
feels.
is caused because we woke up. But in the sense of it, I think that this was all going to be their game plan from the beginning, I think. But in the sense of it, it's like now that we're woke, it's kind of backfired. But we got to sit there and think, what if we wasn't? What if the Most High didn't awake us? What if we was just walking that tightrope like everybody else is, just you know, lollipops and all? Like I thank Him every day, man. That I thank him every day, not just for myself. I thank him every day that that my little brother is my little brother. I thank him for my little brother, my mom. People that's dear, close to me, that I know have a relationship with him in the right way. That's not deceived. But it hurts me because in a sense when I sit there and think about that, and I think about where do we go from here? You know what I mean? Like where do we go from here? And I just have to thank him that that we if the Most High don't step in, like we just we just gotta pray that the Most High steps in because this is out of control. I mean,
Well, we know he's gonna
I
do
don't
it
think
at
we
the
could spread
last
enough and
moment
wake enough people. Right, right,
because he
right,
says that we end up getting prepared to fight these people. We get so tired of,
right.
waiting that we finally, sell our garments and take up the sword. And
Yeah,
I, I, s- I see, I already told you what I'm about. Look, when I was not knowing how far this was, but that first time I saw Roots, I was not right after that. I was 13 years old when I saw Roots. And I said to myself, I would never be a
right,
slave. And although I didn't know how I was
right,
already in my captivity,
right,
you got me all the way messed up.
right,
Come for me if you want to.
right,
Mm, mm,
right,
mm.
I can't.
right, right.
I
That
won't.
part.
Not going for
Yeah, yeah. But Ezekiel, I don't want to misquote. Is Ezekiel either 36 or 37? But the Most High says that, in Ezekiel, that he's going to do something that we're not going to deserve. So whatever he has planned, just know that, we ain't much going to deserve it. That's how great it's going to be. So that kind of gives me that little push to, to to go on every day and say, because when I look at a lot of our people and I see so many of them are not woke and so many people don't know what's going on, I have to put my mind on that little Ezekiel verse where he says that we not gonna deserve what he gonna do. We not, and that's how epic it's gonna be. We not gonna deserve that. So that's my little inspiration when I sit there and think about, the loss and, a lot of stuff, because in a way, all we could do is do what we're doing right now. And that's fellowship in his name and come together in his name and bring his word out and do our part.
Despite what they say, despite what we even think they gonna do to us, despite it all.
Right. And so
Right.
just like right here, like this is Jubilees right here. And so I can't wait till we get in this right here. This is the first chapter of Jubilees. Jubilees
Me
1.
too.
And so this is a little bit of a teaser right here. But yes, right here. And thus it will come to pass when all these things come upon them, they will recognize that I am more righteous than they in all their judgments and all their actions, and they will recognize that I have been truly with them. And do right for yourself all these words which I declare unto you, you this day, for I know their rebellion and their stiff neck. Before I bring them into the land which I swore to their fathers, Abraham, to Yishak, and Jacob, saying, unto your seed I will give a land flowing with milk and honey, and they will eat and be satisfied, and they will turn to strange gods or Elohim, which cannot deliver them from out their tribulation. And and this witness shall be heard for a witness against them, for they will forget all my commandments and even all that I command them, and they will walk after the Gentiles and after their uncleanness and after their shame, and will serve their Elohim. And these will prove unto them an offense and a tribulation and an affliction and a snare. Many will perish, and they will be taken captive and will fall into the hands of the enemy, because they have forsaken my ordinances and my commandments and the festivals of my covenant and my Shabbats and my Kodesh place, which I have hallowed for myself in their midst, and my tabernacle and my sanctuary, which I have hallowed for myself in the midst of the land, that I should set my name upon it, it should dwell there. And they will make to themselves high places and groves and graven images, and they will worship each his own graven image, so as to go astray. And they will sacrifice their children to demons and to all the work of the error of their hearts. And I will send witnesses unto them, that I may witness against them, but they will not hear. And they will slay the witnesses also, and they will persecute those who seek the Torah, and they will abrogate and change everything so as to work evil before my eyes. And I will hide my face from them, and I will deliver them into the hand of the Gentiles for captivity, for prey, and for devouring. And I will remove from them the midst of the land, and I will scatter them amongst the Gentiles. And they will forget all my Torah and all my commandments and all my judgments, and will go astray as to new months and Shabbats and festivals and jubilees and ordinances. And after this, they
It's
will
right there
turn
in
to
our
me
face.
from amongst the Gentiles with all their heart and with all their soul and with all their strength. And I will gather them from amongst the Gentiles, and they will seek me, so that I should be found of them, when they seek me with all their heart and with all their soul. And I will disclose to them abounding shalom with righteousness, and I will remove them the plan of uprightness. with all my heart and with all my soul. And they shall be for a blessing and not for a curse. And they shall be the head and not the tail. And I will build my sanctuary in their midst, and I will dwell with them. And I will be Yahuwah, their sovereign ruler. And they shall be my people in truth and righteousness. And I will not forsake them nor fail them, for I am Yahuwah, their sovereign ruler. So, I mean, there's so much more to this. And I could have kept on going, but daggone. But I just can't wait to
It
get
sounds exactly like that Ezekiel scripture I was talking about.
I
And
mean,
how
that's
he's
a
saying how
recurring thing.
he's going. Yeah.
You get
Yeah,
that
that's a
same thing
reoccurring,
right
yeah.
there in Second Kings from Solomon. You get this saying in Corinthians. You get this saying
Yeah.
all throughout so many
Yeah.
times that if we would only turn our face from the iniquities of our forefathers, you know, and come back to the Most High Yah, as he has ordained us to, he will restore us and heal us. You know what I'm saying? So, man, that's the reoccurring thing. That's the gospel. You know,
Yeah. And that's why they took that book out of there too.
You know, the good news is that we will be saved from out our tribulation if we will come back to the Most High Yah and come back to his laws, statutes, and commandments and be restored in him, be restored by him, by his judgments and the way he does things, the way he wants his government, his kingdom run. That's the only way we're going to be reestablished. That's the only way that we're going to, progress and be the people we're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's the reoccurring. Yes, I can't wait. I'm so tired of this place. So sick and tired.
I ain't sick and tired of being sick and
I
tired.
definitely agree with that.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna go ahead and play 2 songs, maybe 3, right quick, and then we're gonna go ahead and hop one up out of here. The first one is "Wake Up" by Beloved Dawood, because a lot of these different things we've been talking about is inside this song. So let's go ahead and hear it right quick.
All right.
Yeah, long clock, ring-a-ling-a-ling. Yeah, you gotta wake up, wake up, wake up. You gotta wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Message, that's a message. Gotta open up your eyes, there's a road to the prize. Know you're tired of being sick and tired, ain't it? But if you choose to lose your mind, refuse to watch for the time. Don't you know it's like suicide, ain't it? Yeah, they sleep, but they can't wake up, man, they comatose. Truth, fix your head up like a Bronner, bro, make it grow. Forget this land where a judge turn for common notes, but we still gotta say your honor, though, so and so. Yeah, they made that punishment a paradise. Hoping please make it through this 7 doors of paradise. It's a gamble here in Babel, you could lose your life. Have you ever thought about the afterlife? Yeah, you might. Later with the BS, treated you Kleenex. Ball it up, toss it. Play your game, but we next. Y'all the only sure bet. Your muscles just a sure flex. This truth, that straight truth. Yours ain't that pure yet. Straight toward my lifestyle. I don't know nothing else, pal. Son of my forefather. Should not know stepchild. My wife can't beat Allie. Her spirit up, no pep rally. See things y'all don't see. Your loss ain't my talent. You gotta wake up, wake up, wake up. You gotta wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Message, that's a message. Gotta open up your eyes, there's a road to the prize. Know you're tired of being sick and tired, ain't it? But if you choose to lose your mind, refuse to watch for the time. Don't you know it's like suicide, ain't it? times. You know, as I look around, I'm starting to see that we closer than ever. It's time to level up as a nation. On one accord, in sincerity and in truth. Through Hamashiach. Remember, rise is real, level up. 12 times 12, gon' add it up. The Father with us, that's why they scared of us. Aki, why they mad at us? We just tryna level up. Rise is real, level up. 70 times 7, gon' add it up. The Father with us, that's why they scared of us. Aki, why they mad at us? We just tryna level up. Dust your feet off, Aki, you said enough. Realize they rejecting Abba, they ain't rejecting us. It's a spirit on them, they get mad when we quote the scripts. Double-edged sword, got these demons throwing fits. Keep some oil in your vessel, living water can coexist. Serpents lurking, watch us watch and think that we don't notice it. And they say this ain't the real work, but we in they cars, we in they homes, go where they never could go. Giving the Father the glory, Psalms got the anointing, and they breaking off yokes. New levels, new devils, solid bros I got several, and they never bowed to bail. Long as we follow Messiah, we ain't about to fail. Rise is real, level up. 12 times 12, gon' add it up. The Father with us, that's why they scared of us. Aki, why they mad at us? We just tryna level up. Rise is real, level up. 70 times 7, gon' add it up. The Father with us, that's why they scared of us. Aki, why they mad at us? Remember the covenant made with your fathers. No idols. I'm a copy Messiah. We calling on Abba. No weapon formed against us will prosper. Have faith. Just believe. Keep your eyes on the Savior. Level up. Hey. Level up, level up, level up. We came off them ships in iron yokes. Now it's handcuffed. And the pressure make a wise man mad. We fed up. Look at us and look at these curses. How you not gonna say it's us? Daniel 12 got a message in it. I hope that I'm wrong, cause if not, we don't got long. It'll be ending soon. Realize in the den of thieves ain't no living room. Fourth quarter, who gon' take the shot? What you gon' do? Rise is real, level up. Go add it up. Father with us, that's why they scared of us. Aki, why they mad at us? We just tryna level up. Rise is real, level up. Yeah, yeah. That's why they mad at us. Why they scared of us?
Yeah, I had to do that right quick since you want to say, you know, the coconut blue magic, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all better ask somebody. Yeah, better ask somebody.
You better stop advertising for them folks. You ain't getting paid.
I can't help it. Yeah, I'm needing braided up bad right now. I'm this man. I've been trying to find someone to hook a brother up. Man.
Hey, they asked what I was eating. I was chewing some ice. Somebody said something, asked me what I was eating. I was chewing some ice. Yeah, she had me dying laughing with that grease though. You got blue magic? You really pull it up?
Yeah, I sure did.
Oh, I didn't see the chat. I'm not in there.
Yeah, the chat is going crazy right now.
Oh goodness.
They say they went in on me. Hold on, what happened?
Oh man, I missed what they were talking about. Whatever you were snacking on, but
yeah, I was eating. I was chewing ice.
Oh goodness. Oh, so somebody thought you was eating cereal.
No, I was chewing ice. I was chewing ice out my drink. I'm gonna have to stop using my mic when I'm chewing the ice.
Hey.
Well, y'all know. Well, y'all know I'm from the country, so I chew all I smacks. You know, even the ice.
Oh no! See,
nah,
my daddy would have got you rid of that. That happened a long time ago. All that. No. My dad reached across the table and slapped the skin off you for that. All of that. Like, yeah, my dad didn't play near none of that. All that. Nope, nope, nope.
I hear you.
He was not
I
playing.
hear you.
Like
Look, y'all got me. Look, y'all got me scared to grab. Y'all got me scared to grab my drink, man.
you, he
Making
Hebrew
you
crunch.
self-conscious. Hebrew crunch.
And I was wondering where I kept seeing cereal. I kept
Yeah.
seeing cereal. I thought somebody else was talking about cereal.
Oh goodness.
It be going down the check.
Hebrew
Oh
crunch.
yeah.
Okay, see, I want to meet her because she always be saying the
Oh man,
funniest
I
stuff
gotta.
in chat.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah,
Like, I think she just
yeah.
had me dying
Yasha
laughing.
Shauna Shade is
Rose.
like she's
Yasha
like that
Rose.
sister that you just go to school with or something, huh? She don't miss nothing.
Oh,
The Jasher Crunch.
man.
Yasha Rose. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness. I appreciate y'all,
Oh
family.
man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead
Oh
and shut
what?
it on
Yeah, y'all
down.
made my
I
day.
appreciate y'all so much. All praise to the Most High, y'all, for everybody tuning in on
All
in.
praise.
Shalisha Morgan, Miss B, Sean Harris, Brother Larry Carnell Bryce. Your mom was in here earlier on too as well. I saw her.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What else was in quickly? Yeah, your young brother was up in here. We said what's up to him. Essential growth, definitely appreciate you. Everybody, yeah, I was trying to click on, yeah, just kind of go back through and see everybody that's been tuning in to give a shout out to them. Also, always want to give a shout out to all our teachers out there. I spoke y'all names earlier on. Very much appreciate the work y'all put in. Oh goodness, yeah, you crazy. Yasha Rose and Hebrew Crunch. Wow, wow. Love y'all too. Definitely, definitely. Very much appreciate everybody for tuning on in. Can't wait to get to these next set of scriptures right here because it's going to be more of that understanding that the Father is not playing of how He wants this nation to be. These are the next kinds of scriptures we're going to be getting into again, just like tonight.
So we'll be finishing up Jasher, right? By Shabbat, right?
Um,
So it was just 110 chapters, you said?
let's see here. There are 91. My bad. So
Oh,
yeah. So we got
oh
3 chapters
wow.
left.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So what we gonna do
And
next?
man, we
Jubilee.
ran through that. Oh man, it's
Definitely,
about
I
to
would,
go
I would
down.
definitely get back to get into jubilees and everything. I know with Genesis, Jasher, and Jubilees, I think for some folks the hardest part is getting right back through the creation story again, and
Okay.
re going back
Right.
over the creation of all things. But it doesn't really bother me. But so
Okay.
yeah, that's probably gonna be the longest part. I'm thankful. I'm so glad that Jasher starts off the way we just got done reading it a little bit ago. We're helping us get some understandings of what Uncle Moshe was getting from up on top of the Mount Sinai when he was talking to the Most High. That conversation right there, the way this starts everything off, is really, really, really good. I like that. But then shortly after that, we get into the creation story again, and then at Cain and Abel again, and then start getting back into some of the earlier stories of Genesis again, but we get it from a different angle with Jubilees. So we're going to get a whole nother angle and interpretation in Jubilees of not just the creation story, but of Cain and Abel, and then also another interpretation of the life of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, all the way up through the Exodus. So we're going to get another perspective again.
Okay.
That's gonna be
Y'all
very,
be
very
doing this.
exciting. I mean,
We
I,
doing this.
yeah, like yeah.
Oh yeah, I definitely can't wait for that. And then after that, After the meetings.
Hand clap to Rouse, man.
Hey, I
You
appreciate
say we
y'all.
got how many
No, hand
chapters? We
clap
got
for the
11.
Most High Yah. Hand clap for the
A
Most High
round of
Yah. All
applause,
praise and
people.
honor and glory to the Most High Yah.
All praise, all praise,
Yes,
all
all
praise,
honor and
all
praise and glory
praise.
to the Most High Yah. I mean, I do appreciate it. I do, but I got to give it right back. Like I said, I got to give it right back to where it came from because it don't belong to me.
Right.
Now,
But
Well,
hey,
y'all,
hey,
I
this is a
hope
little
y'all
funny
got a
joke
piece of
though.
art.
If I was reading, we still be in chapter 5, and wouldn't nobody know what we was, wouldn't nobody know what I was saying.
Look, you ain't the only one.
I'd have
You
been,
was
it'd
not
have been
the
a,
only one.
I'd have been stopping, but I'm just saying, I'd have been stopping, saying stuff like, "You heard me" in the middle of it. What do you say?
mm-mm-mm. Well, family,
Oh.
my bad. Let me see here. I appreciate you, sis. I appreciate you. But Jay, you end up got me snacking on some chips right about now, late night snacking.
Yeah, she talking about food.
Uh huh. I had to reach over
Look, I
some
left
of
my
these.
dip in the microwave over an hour ago.
Oh goodness, that dip gonna be all bad. Well, I
But
hope not. I hope it's
I
still good
want to
enough.
say, no, it's just, some of that cheese dip, some I don't need, but, salty, sweet, crunchy, gooey, yummy, you know how they go. Um, I just want to say that I got a piece of armor tonight. I hope you got a piece of armor tonight. I want y'all to know that each and every one of y'all are growing on me. It's hard for me to, you know, relate to people sometimes because they be all over the place, and I'm very sensitive to what people bring towards me, their energy. And although I've never, seen our chat people or anything like that, y'all bring great vibes and great energy. And I hope that you guys are getting as much from this as I am, even if it's in different aspects in your life. Um, so I can't wait till we do this again soon.
Sure enough, sis. I was just answering that question in the background, like, oh no. She said, "You
Yeah,
got
cause
them
I was
Yasha
like, man,
rolls?"
they still going with the.
Nah,
I said we still talking about food.
nah. I got these sour cream and onion stacks chips right about now. But I'm about to open up my fridge and beat down this salad dough that's been calling my name.
Yeah, I'm about to go get me something to eat. And usually they call me out, but usually I am eating. Remember last time I had fried chicken or something like that? I am eating, but I wasn't eating the day I was eating ice. But yeah, though I definitely feel you, sis. Like none of us we have never met anywhere. Even the people in the chat. Even us on the show, we have never met anywhere, and it's like it's a family thing. I think somebody said in the chat, that there's so much love in the chat, man. Is the Most High bringing us together. So just think how good that's gonna be in the kingdom. None of us have met each other. We all come from different places. None of us have met each other, but it's more love than, what I'm saying. And in some cases, in our situation, in some cases, really, what I'm saying, I think I get more love from you guys than I get from some of my own cousins. You know what I mean? And that's not just you guys on the show. People in the chat, I'm like I said, like Shauna Shade said she gonna be with the sign in the wilderness. I'm gonna be looking for some of y'all. I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
Oh, I
looking
think
for.
that
I'm
was
gonna definitely be
yeah.
Sister
looking for
Cindy
some of
Carr
y'all.
that said that the other day.
Yeah, I'm gonna be looking for everybody in the chat. I'm gonna be looking for some of y'all, man. Like
Man, I
really,
can't
really,
wait.
like, and because it's a family thing, automatic family thing. You know what I mean? It's an automatic family, and we can't do nothing but give all praise to the Most High. And I think that family feel comes from us reading this word. Once that word comes out, it's something that happened to Judah when that word come out. I can't explain that more. Something happens to Judah when that word comes out, man.
Mm-mm-mm.
Even the funnies, you know what I'm saying? The funnies are different when that word come out, you know? It's it's something happened to it. But, you know, I love y'all, Israel. I love the family. I love you guys. Thank you, Rouse, for this platform. Um, give all praise to the Most High, man. And
All
y'all
praise.
stay armored up, man. Like, y'all stay armored up. We got to stay armored up. And I want to say this, too, to everybody in the chat, because we was talking about a lot of witnessing, you know. Try I want everybody, because we was talking about a lot of witnessing, I want everybody to try to at least witness to somebody this week. Just do that. Witness to somebody. Just challenge yourself. Witness to somebody this week, even if it's a stranger. If the Most High tempts your heart, and I'm telling y'all this, if the Most High tempts your heart, witness to somebody. I mean, because I'm a witnesser. That's what I do that automatically. You know, that's kind of been my calling during my awakening, being a witnesser. I just want to challenge everybody to witness to somebody, because Jacoba made a good point in what he titled his video today. He titled his video, I think it was "Show Us That We're Not." And I thought about it to
Mm.
myself, and I said, that is the most hardest thing anybody could ever do. When they sitting there talking about going on all this other stuff, when you trying to tell them who they are, when you trying to prophesy like Ezekiel, like the Most High told Ezekiel to do, to prophesy to the bones. When they try to, or the bones try to give you some type of deflection, tell them, prove that you're not Israel. You know what I mean? And I thought that was cool. When you cool, I know he thought about that name. I know he thought about it. You know, but maybe he didn't, or maybe it was prophetic that he named it that. You know, but I thought about that question when I read the title of the video, and I was like, "Yo, that's got to be the hardest thing to do, to prove that to prove that you're not Israel." You know, and I just want to challenge everybody: witness to one person this week, man. Just try it. You know, witness to somebody.
I
But
mean,
otherwise,
I like the way
shalom,
the
family.
title of that goes anyway, because just like I don't know if everybody was watching when he was interviewing with Tone Spain, and shout out to Tone Spain. I'm about to be showing some more of his music soon. Um, but just like he said, the Tone Spain was like, you know, that was kind of how a lot of folks woke up, was trying to debunk that we are the people.
Right. Trying
So
to
go
debunk
ahead,
it. Yeah.
show us that we are not the people.
Right.
So that way, once you start getting
Right.
into the
Like,
information and start trying to find that we are not the people, you're actually going to find that we are the
that's how
people.
you
And so it's
are the
beautiful. I
people.
like that.
Yep.
I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. It made a lot of good sense. But family, I'm a little tired myself. I'm ready to go ahead and just about pretty much lay it on down. I can't remember if I got to work a double tomorrow or what. I think I do. So I need to. Yes, I do. So I got to be to work at 10:30 in the morning. So I'm getting up about 9 hours. Get up by 8:30. Get a little coffee in me and whatnot. Get my little morning routine going before I got to go to work. But definitely want to thank everybody once again. All praise to the Most High Yah for everybody coming on out and tuning on in. Let me see here. What's Thursday looking like? I'm evenings the rest of the week. I work a double tomorrow. Thursday evening, Friday evening, off Shabbat. So I guess we're going to finish them last three chapters on Shabbat, if that's all good with y'all, and then jump right on
Sounds
into
good to me, brother.
Jubilees. So we'll probably go ahead and knock out those three chapters, and then jump right on into Jubilees,
All right.
all on Shabbat.
See y'all Shabbat.
Sure enough.
Shalom.
Shalom. I'm going to go ahead and pray us on out. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for the blessings you've given us and the blessings that you will give. But most importantly, thank you for the love that you gave us to save us. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this fellowship. We thank you for the word that we're learning. And we thank you for pulling these things out in the scriptures of how serious you are about your nature, about your inheritance, Yasharel, that you are not playing on how you want us to be. so that way we have an understanding on the urgency of what we need to do. We thank you for all these things, Father. Um, I can't wait to continue to get more and more deeper into this word and to learn more and more. There's just so much for all of us to learn and relearn every single day. And I'm humbled and thankful that you're allowing me to do any of this and for any bit of time, no matter who shows up to listen, whether it be 2 people, 10 people, 14 people, no matter who shows up, or if it's just us fellowship, and it's all to the good. But I sure enough appreciate you, Father. You know I love you. You know I love your people. You know I love our people and our nation, and that's why we do this. So for your glory, Father, in Yahushua holy name we pray. Amen.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. All for his glory, not for
Hallelujah.
ours. All right. So we'll holler at y'all
Not
again
for
on
ours.
Shabbat, family, and we'll see y'all then.
Shalom.
Shalom.